Do you remember 21st night, September? Love was changing the minds, pretenders, while chasing the clouds away.
'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both your hands in the hole. I swear it's too cold for you, the whole of my sweater. Slut. Cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections.
Blame it on the drone, got you in the phone. Blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the vodka, blame it on the idiot, blame it on the trap that's still in this shit, blame it on the alcohol.
I don't fuck with you, bitch, I got no feelings to go.
You brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack, 'cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back.
Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier, I want you to be happier. Even though I might not like this, I think that you'll be happier. I want you to be happier. Then only for a minute, I want to change my mind, 'cause this just don't feel right to me. I wanna raise your spirits, I want to see you smile. No, that means
Are you seriously watching porn by yourself?
Don't go crying to your mama, 'cause you're on your own in the real world. Don't go crying to your mama.
I think that you'll be happier. I want you to be happier.
If I'm gonna be famous for something, I wanna be famous for loving you. If I'm gonna be known around the world, I wanna be 'cause of you, girl. Nothing wrong with the center of attention. Long as I'm with you, I don't mind the pictures. If I'm gonna be famous for something, girl, I wanna be famous for loving you.
Sky tissue that I wish you saw. Sock Captain, Mr. Know-It-All. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. With the birds I'll share this lonely view.
She could get menacing, frightening, find help. Sometimes I scare myself. She could get menacing, frightening, find help. Sometimes I scare myself.
I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you wanna leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me.
Don't stop believing. Hold on. Sweet life, people. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Sweet life, people.
Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time.
California, rest in peace. Simultaneous release. California, show your teeth. She's my priestess, I'm your priest. Yeah.
Young girl, see you want me, body is life, and I'm just a dead man walking tonight. But you need it, yeah, you need it, all of the time, yeah.
Getting born in the state of Mississippi. Papa was a copper and her mama was a hippie. In Alabama, she was swinging a hammer. Race you gotta pay when you break the panorama.
See you want me, back in the line. I'm just a dead man calling tonight.
I don't want your love no more. It's not what I'm looking for. I don't want your love. You can be the one I want. I don't want your
Sidewalk on the east side, where you at? Don't like the nightstand in the back. Come here, you can meet me in the back. Dark jeans, green Nikes, look at you. Oh damn, if I seen that color blue. Just think of the fun things we could do. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it chill that you're in my head? Cause I know that it's deadly. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it too soon to do this yet? Cause I know that it's deadly.
I don't want your love no more. Even if I could, I wouldn't turn on you. And I would stop the world for you. You know I'll let you know. I'll never let this feeling go. This love has no ceiling. I cannot deny.
They tell me think with my head, not that thing in my chest. They got their hands at my neck this time. But you're the one that I want. If that's really so wrong, then they don't know what this feeling is like.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, we'll burn. No friends of mine. See, we can go where you want. We'll do they want and fine. And we can act like we come from out of this world. Leave the real one far behind.
And I see
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, team. for everyone who is joining us on this absolutely BEA a beautiful day. Can we kick things on off right here and right now? I want to see every single person in the chat room. I want to see every single person waking up. Team, right now, let me see over in the chat. Hit me with a good old Dekmar trades. Woohoo! Because we are awake bright and early, 8 a.m. Eastern time, already making money on the day. And that's what I absolutely love here, team. So we got to talk about it all. We got to break it all on down. All right, I'm getting a little lightheaded, everyone. Give me a second. Okay. Traders, we have an opportunity today. Another insane day. The S&P 500 might be getting a little bit weaker. We could be watching to see some new day trades, some new plays develop. We might be getting even better entries on our long-term retirement account. We know, again, that 460 mark is in reach. That's what we want. And once we start getting it, we want to start pulling that trigger and making that money. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Everyone watching right now, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up if you guys haven't yet. And get excited because we got a brand new day ahead. Man, I am ready to rock and roll. I am ready to go, and I hope you guys are as well because we got to talk about it right here and right now. So I'm going to turn off the music here, get a little serious, and talk about what we are seeing at this moment. First things first, traders, for anyone who does not know, I was live streaming over on TradeCaster.com this morning when I did this trade. So again, when I woke up this morning, just a little heads on up, I woke up at around the time of like 6:40, 6:30 area. And I walk on over to my computer and I see VERO going on a spike. I saw VERO was already sitting up about 300%, right? VERO is at 290% at this moment. So I saw that VERO was spiking last night. I saw that it spiked up this morning. And then all of a sudden, when I started waking on up, it started moving itself back on up, right? I'm waking up at around 6:20, 6:30. I'm seeing it starting to spike. And then I see this big green candle. Traders, VERO. There is one reason on why I jumped in on this stock. I jumped in on this play at 6:50 a.m. about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Almost an hour and a half ago, I already traded. Now, why did I jump in on VERO? There is really just one reason and one reason only. Guys, it is a spiking stock in pre-market. That's the number one top gainer that has less than 1 million in float. Does anyone remember yesterday? Does anyone remember that NAOV? NAOV yesterday. This stock was under 1 million in float and went from $3 and spiked all the way up to $16. There was no news. There is no news whatsoever over on NAOV. There was no credibility. There was no nothing over on NAOV. This whole entire stock went on about a 700% climb yesterday at reaching its highs when this stock went absolutely crazy because if you take a look right here, the float is 337,000. It's sub 1 million in float. And the moment that I saw that, again, I woke up this morning and I was like, hey, we are in a crashing market. Hey, we're seeing stocks fade and fall. The only ones that are spiking are the lowest float plays. Is it a coincidence? Is it odd that, again, VERO is the number one top gainer with less than 1 million in float? Is it odd that DXF is the number two top gainer with less than 1 million in float? Is it odd that FMTO is the 2 million in float stock? Is it odd that WRX is in fourth place with 1 million in float? Is it odd that the top 5 gainers on the day all have low floats? Is that just a coincidence? No, it's because every single trader is waking on up and they're saying, hey, this market's falling and crashing and dumping. Let's just trade stocks that are easily manipulated. Let's just trade stocks that are easily pumped on up. Let's just trade stocks that easily have volatility. Let's just trade stocks that are going to get some sort of price action. So we've been seeing that day after day after day, right? I believe even on Monday, wasn't JNVR a low float stock as well? JNVR. Let's go over and take a look over on this play. Taking a look over to statistics. What do we have? Go ahead and take a look at a float. JNVR, 604,000 in float. So the stock is again 604,000 in float. Guys, anyone remember what JNVR did? Oh, wow. JNVR went from the price of $5 all the way up to $50. There's a low supply available. So traders, guess what I did? I saw Monday morning, JNVR went from $4 and spiked up to $50. Insane. I saw that yesterday. NAOV. This is a stock that went from around $2, right? Went from around $2 and spiked up to $20. And I wake up this morning now and I see VERO. And I see VERO is a low float stock. And JNVR is in my mind. And NAOV is in my mind. And I'm saying, guys, Vero has now gone from $6 up towards around $11. Could this play? All of a sudden, in the next few moments, be at $15, $16, $17. Could this play go on a very big rip and run this morning? So the thing is, all I did was pull the trigger. That's all I did. I woke on up, I saw VRO spiking, and I'm saying to myself, JNVR, that stock went from $2 to $50. NAOV, that stock went from all the way from $4 all the way up towards whatever, $20. VERO, the stock so far has gone from $6 up to $11. I'm just pulling the trigger. And as you guys can see, at 6:50 this morning, I jumped in at 1173. I jumped in at 1170. I jumped in at 1171. That's where I got filled over on these plays. And I got in a little bit more around $12. So I was getting filled at 650, 650, 650, 657, 657, and then I got out at 701 when the stock spiked all the way up toward its new highs. So again, this stock did get its nice rip, did get its nice run, spiked all the way up towards above $13. When it started coming back on down under $13, I just started taking my profits. And I was able to lock in again at the very top at $12.81. That's a nice entry price, right? Or that's a nice exit price. That's a nice price getting on out. Getting in at the cost basis of around $11.70 and getting out at $12.80. This stock, again, I had about 350 shares and having about $1 profit on those plays, I was able to make $353. This is on the small account challenge, guys. So guess what? Our small account was sitting at $9,050. What is our small account sitting at right now with a $350 profit? We are now up and over $9,400. It's actually at $9,403. Traders, we are only $600 away now from breaking the $10,000 threshold on, of course, the small account challenge. We are only $600 away from doubling our account, making a 100% return on our account, a 100% return on our account in about 2 months. Hey, that's pretty awesome. And the thing is, we are making a 100% return while the entire stock market is fading, falling, dropping, crashing all the way on down right here. So I want to be able to see this. I want to be able to see, of course, can we be able to keep that party going? But it's great that I was able to wake up, see my trade, pull the trigger, and get after it. Now, it's actually, again, great right here. Take a look. Everyone go over to Fox Runner and look at the news alerts. And this is where, of course, I'm getting all this data. It says low floats, low floats, low floats. It says watch low float stocks today as these have been the winners. Let's be honest. When the stock market is falling, it is hard to find 100% plus breakouts. So how do we find the winners? Well, what we have noticed is that every morning, the best top gainers in pre-market are stocks with 5 million in float and under. Regardless if the stock has news or not, the lower the float the stock has, these are always turning into the winner. So the image below shows the current top gainers in pre-market as of 7:17 a.m. this morning. The majority of them have less than 5 million in float. So you guys can see right here, 486,000, 2.3 million, 1.2, 179,000, 1.7 million. They are all lower float plays. So if you guys do not know, what is float? A float of a stock refers to the number of shares that a company's stock is that are available to the public for trading, excluding those held by insiders, institutions, and restricted shares. In simple terms, the float is the supply to the public. When you have a low supply and a high demand, the stock will increase dramatically. So all the float is just the amount of shares that are available for us to trade. If we have a low supply and a lot of people rush into that play, the price increases dramatically. That's all it is, guys. Just like let's imagine it's Black Friday, right? Or let's imagine it's Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve and there's an Xbox available for sale. One Xbox left and 20 parents want it. 20 parents promised little Timmy that they were going to get him an Xbox. Now again, it's really $300. But now people are saying, I'll give you $500 if you give me that Xbox. I'll give you $700 if you give me that Xbox. If you give me that Xbox, I'll give you $3,000. It's a low supply. There's only one of them and a lot of demand. So the price increases dramatically, right? Example of yesterday, NAOV spiked 400% on no news at all, but the stock was under 1 million in float. The lower the float, the bigger the spike that could happen. So NAOV, guys, went absolutely crazy. So again, that's all it comes on down to. We are watching these low float stocks. We are watching these low float plays. We are seeing, again, the momentum that is really coming behind these plays, leading towards these spikes, leading towards these rips and runs. Now, the big thing here, team, is yes, VERO, we still will watch it. FMTO, we'll watch DXF, we'll watch WRX, we'll watch PHIO. They're all just low float stocks. And we're going to see, are they going to be able to continue to push on up? Are they going to continue to get hype? Are they going to continue to get this momentum? Are they going to continue to get this rip and run? Because traders, as we know, just like I said yesterday, NALV. What did I stress yesterday, guys? What did I absolutely stress yesterday? I stressed that NALV was going to follow in its stock's characteristics. Didn't I? I said every single person here, I don't know how high NALV is going to go, but I can almost guarantee you that NALV is going to crash all the way back on down. And traders said, why? Because it's known to spike and dump, spike and dump, spike and dump, spike and dump, spike and dump. And guess what? Spiked and dumped. Didn't I give the analogy yesterday? Again, a little bit of a dark analogy. But I said, if you started dating a man or a woman and their last 5 relationships ended because they cheated on their significant other, could you go into this relationship and be like, oh, I'm different? Guys, the last 5 people they were with, they cheated with. Now you are like, no, that would never happen. People buy NALV and they're like, oh, the stock's going on up. No, it'll never dump on me. This time's different. Guess what? It does exactly that. Yesterday, I told you NALV was going to dump and get back all of its gains. Yesterday, I told you NALV was going to crash all the way back on down. Yesterday, I told you NALV was going to get weaker and start fading and falling and dropping, getting, that crash all the way back on down. So I want you guys to, of course, be aware of this. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to be able to say that, all right, hey, look at the stock's characteristics and you will be able to figure it all on out. So NALV was absolutely awesome. Now let's get back over to the S&P 500 though. Because the S&P 500, ladies and gentlemen, things are getting ugly again. There was a small brief hope. There was a small brief hope right here over on the S&P 500, wasn't there? Where the S&P 500, we actually thought we were going to get a dip buy. We actually thought the S&P 500 was going to get a bounce. We actually thought the S&P 500 was going to move itself on up yesterday. We saw that yesterday, team. The S&P 500, let's actually go back into a little bit of a larger time frame. We saw that the SPY found a bottom right around 481, spiked on up towards around 520, came back on down, worked its way back on up, got back up to 520, and then it has just gotten absolutely destroyed back on down to 487. Man. Traders, the S&P 500 is moving like a penny stock at this time. The S&P 500, there's no mercy right here behind the S&P 500. It is just doing what the S&P 500 wants to do. So let's scroll on down here a little bit more. And what do we actually see at this time? It says, let's go here. It says SPY, more drama than a soap opera. The stock market drops for the 4th day in a row. Monday afternoon and Tuesday's trading session looked like an amazing recovery in the markets. The S&P 500 was up 2% and the Dow was up over 1,000 points during the first hour of yesterday's trading session. Unfortunately, by the end of the day, we saw the Dow close with a drop of 300 points. The Nasdaq was down 355 points and the S&P 500 was down 79 points. We have not seen a market this volatile since 2020. Traders, the S&P 500 is literally moving around like it's a penny stock. It is spiking $20, $30 at a time. It is dropping $20, $30. It is all over the place. And right now, team, we closed at the price of $496. We closed at the price of $496 yesterday. We are again down 15% on the day or on the year. Now, let's see what we are down this morning. So this morning now, right, we already know the S&P 500, we have the S&P 500 down 15%. This morning, we're down at almost another 2%. We are down almost 17% year to date. Now, we also have to incorporate the 3% drop from the record highs that we had. So record highs that we have, we are back in bear market territory. We are again down over 20% now. So it's not just year to date, it's from the highest point. The highest point was up near around 613, 615. And now we're all the way down to 496. And now we're actually all the way down towards around 489, 488. So the thing is, we are actually down over 20% on the S&P 500. So when will the stock market climb back up? Easy answer. Eliminate fear and give the people clarity. Traders, if you want the stock market to be able to climb back on up, you just have to eliminate fear. How do we eliminate fear? Well, boost their investing confidence, lower interest rate, corporate earnings growth, stimulus measures, global stability, innovation and sector hype, inflation cooling, right? These are all different ideas, of course, that could lead towards the market moving itself back on up. But right now at this time, the S&P 500 is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Now I'm going to say this out loud to absolutely everyone. What price do I want the S&P 500 to fall on down to for me to load up on my second half of course, my long-term investment retirement account, right? What price do I want? I want that 460 area. 460, as you guys know. You switch back over to a monthly chart, the S&P 500, I know that perfect dip buy is going to be somewhere down near that 460 region. The S&P 500 falls on down towards, that 350, perfect bounce play. S&P 500 got a little bit weaker, fell on down towards 219, bounced right back up to 250, and then ran and ripped. You can see right here, S&P 500 fell back down to 230, went on a nice spike, fell back on down to 180, went on a nice spike. So the thing is, traders, we can really just connect these dots here, right? You connect these dots and you start asking yourself, okay, hey, where can the S&P 500 really go on down towards? The S&P 500, like if this play really started crashing, I would say it could go probably again, like let's say like worst case scenario. I think like our worst case scenario would be back on down towards like that 430 mark. I think like we give back a lot of gains. Like I think the worst case scenario is somewhere back down towards like 430. That's where I would say like is the worst of the worst. That's where I would say is a massive drop. That's where I would say is a massive fade. Worst of the worst, back on down towards that like 430 area. I would say though, anything underneath this blue line, anything underneath 460 would be absolutely tremendous. Anything underneath that 460 mark would be an absolute gift. So, as the market starts fading and falling and dropping, and as the market starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker, we start seeing again bottoms. We start seeing that 450 area. Guys, I am not opposed to start hammering on down and start saying, hey, get ready to rock and roll. So today, we do want to be watching that. Now, why are the markets falling today? Why are we seeing, again, some more fading here? It says Trump tariffs launch a global trade war with no clear off-ramp. So what do we have here? Let's again break this on down. Let's get every single person kind of up to speed. It says Trump tariffs launch a global trade war with no clear off-ramp. So it says at this time, Air France CEO Ben said the company sees demand holding up. Let's see. Actually, let's go with what you need to know. President Donald Trump's are in effect, including a 104% tariff on Chinese imports. Beijing has responded by announcing a 84% tariff rate reciprocal on U.S. goods. Treasury Secretary is calling for China to negotiate with Trump on tariffs. U.S. markets are set to open up sharply lower on Wednesday. A panel of EU trade experts will vote on set of retaliatory tariffs on the United States today. So, what we have right here, team, is we are seeing a very big drop. We do have, again, Trump's tariffs are back into effect. China slaps 84% retaliation tariffs on U.S. goods in response to Trump. Stock market is, again, tumbling down 800 points. U.S. Treasury, again, bonds crater 10-year spikes briefly above 4.5%, and confounding move that's worrying Wall Street. So, guys, does any of this sound good? Is there anything right here that sounds good at the moment? The answer is no. Okay? Let's just be honest with each other. Let's just be frank with each other. None of that is sounding very good. So, we want to realize that we have a lot of negative sentiment in the market right now. We want to realize that we do have a lot of fading, falling, dropping, and a lot of fear in the market at this moment. Now, fear is not bad. Fear is giving us a dip buy. I will continuously say that every single day. The S&P 500, as it goes lower, as we get weaker, as we start getting drops, as we get that fear, we are looking to see this market drop on down into the 460s. 460s is where we want to start hammering on down, okay? So if the S&P 500 starts fading and dropping and falling, guess what? That 460 region is going to be some very nice fades. Let's do some research together here. Let's again see, every recession in U.S. history. Can we see every recession in U.S. history? Let's go with like a chart. I want to see a chart of this. And I want to see like, can we figure out the average of how much did the market fall? How much did the market drop? How much, weakness did we really have here? So this is a nice little picture. Let's go ahead and check this on out, okay? I'm going to grab this, grab that, bring that on over, bada boom, bada bing. Okay, awesome. So what do you guys realize? All right? What you guys realize at this time says recessions are painful, but expansion has been powerful. Take a look at this, guys. Look at this image. This image is showing us every single recession that we have. The average recession lasts 10 months. We have GDP growth minus 2.5%, net jobs added minus 3.9 million. The average recession only lasts 10 months, only lasts about a year. And then look at what follows this. So if you wanted to take a look, let's go back to 50s right here. 1950s, pullback. Then after that 10 months, massive, basically a 3 to 4x. You guys can see right here, pullback, 10 months. Then guess what happens? Massive move, pullback, massive move, pullback, massive move, pullback, massive move. Even again in 2008, the average recession lasts 10 months. And then look at this monster move. 2020, guess what? We have that very long lower wick that lasted like a week. And then guess what happened? We have this monster move that goes all the way back on up. That is absolutely crazy to be thinking about. So, I mean, this image right here, right? This image right here should just be something that stands on out to you and says, wow. So you're telling me I can actually get filled during these dumps, filled during these drops? Take a look. 10 months is usually what happens. 10 months of, again, fading and falling. 10 months of dropping. And then, of course, we can start seeing, again, the markets move its way back on up. Take a look at this right here. Market volatility in perspective. That's not what I want right here. Let me go over to stocks at this time. I want to see if I can find a nice, I just want to see like, some averages of the S&P 500. S&P 500. Let's see if we can find anything too good. All right, I like this. So this is kind of what I was looking for. So what do we have at this area? Let's take a look at this image. It says stock market declines of U.S. recessions. The S&P 500's peak to trough drawdowns associated with U.S. recessions. Okay. Excuse me, guys. So what we have here is since 1970, month of equity trough, total drawdown, 36%. So when we fell, okay, when the markets fell big, we have in 1970, the market fell 36%. Okay, let's just kind of write this on out. I'm going to average this on out here. And you guys can do the math better than me. So we have our first recession, 36%. In October of 1974, that's a big one. The markets fell 48%. 48% right there. In March 1980, the markets fell 17%. In August of 1982, the markets fell 27%. In October of 1990, the markets fell 20%. In October of 2002, the markets fell 49%. When in 2009, the markets fell again 57%. And in 2020, the markets fell 34%. What would you guys say right here? And again, if anyone wants to do the quick math, go ahead and do it, and that would be awesome. What is the average? What would you say is the average recession pullback over in the market? The S&P 500, 36, 48, that's going to put us at around 40. Now it's 17, that's going to bring us back on down towards around 36. Now again, 27, that's going to bring us down to 35. Now again, 20, that's going to bring us down towards around 32. Now again, 49, that's going to bring us up towards around 37 or 35. Then again, 57, that's going to bring us up towards around 37. And then back on down to 34, that's going to bring us back down towards around 36. Somewhere right around that 36% average. So again, you guys can probably do the math and get that, even a little bit more accurate. But again, it seems like our average recession, how much is the S&P 500 going to fall from peak to bottom? How much is the market going to fall from peak to bottom? That seems like it's going to be 36%. Dek, it's exactly 36%. Awesome. Hey, guys, I'm very good at math. So again, for anyone who does not know, I'm actually extremely incredible at math. So it is 36%. So the average, again, fade on this market or from a top to bottom right here is going to be that 36% area. Now, we have now fallen. Let's do the math right here. Not even math, very simple. Is we know that the S&P 500, right? SPY stock decline from top to current. How much has we fallen? We know, again, we have fallen about what? So we have fallen so far this year to date, about 15%, right? S&P 500 decline from top to current. We know, again, year to date, 15%. But again, that's not incorporating from the high. The high that we have, remember, if we want to take a look at this, let's go ahead and kind of break this on down. The S&P 500 this year, right? The S&P 500 this year opened on up at what price? Ding, right here. So again, we opened on up this year at around the price of 589. That orange line is where we opened up at. Remember, what they talk about the recession is going to be from top. So again, top period here, all the way on down to this period right here. This is going to be, so far, I believe, right around a 21% drop. So I think so far, from top to bottom, we have seen around a 21% drop. Now, someone do some more math for us. Someone math out for us. What would be, someone tell us right now, what would be the price of the S&P 500 if, of course, we saw the market fall another, 15%? If the market fell another 15%, where we have now gone from the very top to the very bottom of a 20% drop right here, what would be the price if we fall another 15% from 487? I believe that would put us right around that 443 mark, somewhere right around that. So the average recession, I would say, the average recession, if we follow the average, could be worse, could be not as bad. But I'm saying, again, if we do fall somewhere right around there, the S&P 500 could go on down towards what areas we talked about, probably right around that 440, somewhere in the 440 area, I'm taking a guess. Someone, again, do that, right? We can definitely see that's where that bottom would be. So far, guys, where did I get filled on my first entry? I got filled at around 495 on the first entry. Dek, why right around 495? That's going to be around a 19-20% drop, okay? So I got my first entry filled at around a 19 to 20% drop. That's where I'm in on. Now, where am I going to get my second entry? My second entry is going to be when we have around a 30% drop. I'm going to probably do another quarter of my position in the 460s, because 460s is going to be when the market is now approaching 30%. We'll be down around 27, 28%. And then if the market falls down to 440, I'll go ahead and put the last little bit. That'll bring my average from, again, let's just think about S&P 500. S&P 500 in at 495, bring it down towards around 460, 465. Now my average is going to be right around that probably like, because it's only a quarter of profits or a quarter of gains, it's going to be more in the low 480s. Okay, great, low 480s. Now on top of that, we go all the way on down towards, let's say, the 450s. We go down towards the 450, guys. Now I add in the rest. That's going to be bringing my average now probably right into the low 470s. So if I have an average of low 470s during a recession, that means, again, my average is going to be after about a 29% drop in the stock market. Traders, what did we see on this? Right? What did we see on this? We saw that the market will become explosive after, again, an average recession of 10 months, or again, an average drop of 36%, could be a little more, could be a little less. But if you are getting an average of a 30% drop on the S&P 500, I mean, you are doing absolutely incredible. And, if we do fall on down, let's just say hypothetically, guys, let's again keep this party going here. Let's say hypothetically, we do fall on down towards these prices of, 440. Okay, where is that going to be putting us at? Let's just kind of go through a couple plays here. Let's say we come on down towards around the price of 445. You would be getting entries on the S&P 500 that people purchased back in 2021. You would be getting a 4-year discount. That's pretty incredible. A 4-year discount. People were buying back in 2021, and you are getting a 4-year discount. That's pretty amazing, right? And we again take a look over on Apple. You would probably be seeing Apple somewhere back on down towards around the 150s. You are going to be getting, again, same areas that people were buying back in 2021. Basically, what we're trying to do, what could happen here is all the prices that people are buying in back in 2021 could be the same prices that you guys are going to be able to get filled at. So again, next area of prices that you guys could get filled at is going to be a 4 to 5 year discount. I mean, Amazon was sitting at these prices in 2020. So get ready, because the thing is, everyone that's been a long-term investor and everyone that's been holding their gains and everyone that's been holding on up and everyone that's been jumping on in at these very tippity tops, they are now losing everything. And we are about to get involved on plays after, again, 5-year discounts. That is amazing to even be thinking about. 5-year discounts we are getting filled on our play. 5-year discounts we are getting filled at these bottoms. That is absolutely magnificent. So we got to see if that keeps on going lower. Blade, 36% would actually drop us on down towards around $400. So again, if we actually fall all the way down towards 36%, that would be back on down towards that $400 region. Yeah, that would be a big drop for sure. That would be, again, a massive, massive pullback over on the S&P 500. So, I mean, we got to see what's going to happen today. I have half of, again, my long-term kind of like 401k in at the price around 492 right now, 493. Now I'm going to be getting the other half, I said, probably back on down towards low areas, 460 or lower. 460 or lower is my goal. That's what I want. 460 or lower, traders. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. That's where I'm staying after. That's going to be my thought process on this time. So do you guys like right here, right? Do you guys like at this moment kind of how we're breaking this on down? Remember, we're not trying to break this on down just off like a chart. We're not trying to break this down just off of a gut feeling. We're not trying to break this on down and saying, hey guys, oh, let's buy here because I like this area. Oh guys, 462, that's my lucky number. Let's go ahead and buy there. Like what we're trying to do is we're trying to go through the average recession. What we're trying to go through is the math behind the average recession, line that on up and how far the market can fall. And actually, again, that brings us on down towards the lower 400s. So the lower 400s, we can actually still see that all the way back on down. So the average recession lasts 10 months. Now also, please note, traders, that does not mean that we are going to be seeing this for 10 months. Okay? Let's say we have month 1. And this is month 10, okay? That does not mean we see this for 10 months. A lot of people think that's what it means. People think the stock market falls for 10 months. No, that's not what it means at all. The stock market could literally do this. The stock market could literally do this, guys. Fade all the way back on down in 1 month, right? In 1 month, we fade all the way on down. And then we work our way back on up throughout the next 9 months. So please note, we might only have 1 or 2 months of actually fading and falling. Please note, during a recession, you might only have 1 or 2 months of an actual big sell-off. You might only get 1 to 2 months of an actual big dump. You might only get 1 to 2 months of actually a huge crash. But then it takes another 9 months to kind of build out of that hole, right? Let's imagine if you dug a hole, right? If you dug a hole and you jumped into it, and then it takes you again, a time to get out of that hole. It's still, of course, you're still in the hole. So again, if someone said, all right, go, and you jump in the hole, it's not just falling. How deep is the hole as you're falling? It's also you got to hit the ground. Then you got to be able to, say, okay, I'm at the bottom. And then you got to be able to climb back on out. And when you get out of the hole, that's when the stopwatch ends. So right here, it could be 2 to 3 months of falling. 2 to 3 months of falling, we find a bottom, and then we have, again, 8 months of climbing until, okay, hey, the recession is now over. We are now back into the green. So please do not think the stock market's going to fall for the next 10 months. It probably won't. But what probably is going to happen is the stock market's going to fall for the next 1 month or 2 months. Remember, guys, we already had so far 1 month of fading and falling where we went from 615 down to 560. Then we've already had another month of fading and falling where we went from 550 all the way back on down towards 487. And we might only get 1 more month of falling where, again, we fall on down towards that low 400 region, right? So we have to see. Now, the thing is, team, we still have a lot of this negative sentiment. I do think at this moment, though, we are again doing the worst of it. Now, what's the worst of it? The worst of it at this time is the time that everyone is just trying to figure out what the heck is happening. We know that Trump is doing tariffs. We know that China is retaliating. We know that Europe is concerned. We know Mexico, Canada, all this stuff is happening. We know all this stuff is going on at this moment, traders. So what we actually need to think about at this time is right now is the biggest state of confusion. Right now is the biggest state of just everything's hitting the wall at this moment. From this point on, right, we are going to start figuring things on out. From this point on, Trump probably will go over to China, or China's going to come over to the United States, and they will talk and discuss. From this point on, we know what the tariffs are. We know that, again, all other countries hate them. And again, people are going to say, hey, okay, how can we be able to work together? This is, I think, going to be one of the worst points that we have. Now today, tomorrow, the next week, now that doesn't just mean today. I'm talking about maybe over the next 1 or 2 weeks will be considered the biggest state of confusion. Let's imagine this, guys. Let's imagine you go to college, right? You go to college and on the first day, you're confused, you're lost, you don't have any friends. You're sitting there and you're saying, oh man, this is awful. I'm 5 hours from my house. I don't have any friends. I don't know anyone who's here. I don't know what to do. I'm alone. No one's again making me dinner. I'm not with my family anymore. This sucks. I hate college. that day one, that day two is maybe the worst time of your college career. Because maybe again, day 7, you make a friend. And maybe day 8, you start figuring out all your classes. And then maybe day 9, that friend invites you to go to a party and then you meet more people. And then again, by 2 weeks in, you're like, oh, hey, you know, at first I really hated this, but now I have a friend group. Now I understand how, again, the routine works. Now I get it all. And now, again, I'm a lot more confident. Now I'm happy. Just 14 days ago, I wanted to go home. 14 days ago, I wanted to drop out of college. Just 14 days ago, I didn't have any friends whatsoever. Fast forward 14 days. I know all my classes. I'm doing well. I'm sitting next to my best friend. I have a good, nice core group of friends. I go out to, again, this social event, whatever it could be. And it's the whole entire mentality has now shifted. Right now, we are in, I want to go home. I want to drop out. I want to do all this. But I'm sure there's going to be negotiations. I'm sure they're going to talk. I'm sure, again, things are going to be able to get better. So again, the S&P 500, that's why I'm saying at this moment, we do not want to miss out on these little red marks, these little red pullbacks, these little red drops, these little bit red fades, these little red crashes right here. We do not want to miss out on these areas. Because if we miss out on these areas, guys, you are going to be kicking yourself. Because look, every single time, I don't think there hasn't been a time in history that the recession has been bigger than what comes up after. That the expansion, you might lose a little to make tons. This is almost the perfect example of take one step back to take 20 steps forward. Take one step, I mean, look at the 1960s. Take one step back to take 100 steps forward. This is probably 100x what this was right here, right? Take again one step back to take 20 steps forward. Take again 2 steps back to take 10 steps forward, right? Even in 2008, take again 4 steps back to take 20 steps forward. Who knows? We could be seeing a 1960 bull run coming on up. We could be seeing a massive, massive move right around the corner. The most important thing is to be able to get in, though, during one of these dark times. Get in during these areas. Now, traders, I will tell you this right now. If you are a newer trader, if you are 20 years old right now, if you are, again, in your mid-20s and your 30s, or if you guys are just getting involved in the stock market right now, this is the first big opportunity that we have seen since 2020. So especially if you are a brand new trader, you are about to experience the best possible time to pull the trigger. You are going to experience the best and most beautiful time to be able to get involved in place. Because I can guarantee, if you are in your younger 20s right now and you're saying, hey, Dek, I want to start setting up, a retirement account, a Roth IRA, a 401k or whatever, and you start hammering down while the market is down 20%, in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and people ask you, well, where did you get in on NVIDIA? Oh, I got in at $89. What the heck? It's at $1,000 right now. Yeah, I know. It was a good trade. Hey, where did you get in on Apple? Oh, I got involved in Apple at like $180. What the heck? It's at $800 right now. Yeah, I know. It's like we can't be scared during times of these pullbacks. We have to be pulling the trigger, right? We know how this works, team. We know we are going to have an average of a 36% pullback, an average of a 36% drop. Right now, we're at 21%. There has literally been recessions that are less than where we're at right now. In March of 1980, we fell 17%, and then the market recovered. In October of 1990, we fell 20%. Then the market recovered. Guys, we're already at 21% right now. So the thing is, that's what I'm saying. In August of 1982, 27%. Sure, we've had some real bad ones, right? We've had a 57% drop. That was ugly and that was bad. But I would probably say that this is going to be somewhere in the 20s. Somewhere in the high 20s, maybe we touch a 30% drop, right? Because we've had 36, 48, 17, right? 27, 20, 49, 57, 34. We've had some bigger ones over the recent years where we had 49, 57, 34. This is what I think is going to be like a 27, maybe a 31, something like that. So again, that's going to bring us on down towards the like 450. 440. That's where I think, again, our bottom's going to be. I do think it's a great entry to start hammering down right around the 460s. But I do think, again, if we start seeing that 450, 440, I mean, you have an incredible opportunity. You have an incredible opportunity behind that, right? So everything that I'm explaining right now, everything that I'm going over, everything that I've talked about here, traders, I'm just trying to give you more clarity. I'm trying to make sure that you are completely understanding from step by step, knowing, of course, where to be able to buy in on these plays, completely understanding moment by moment, giving you the clarity to make sure that you guys are all set, ready to go. Now, as you guys already know, and I have posted this multiple times, but I have already started entering on my plays. You guys can see them all, right? This is what I'm entering, or what I have already entered, and that was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I entered it on VST. I entered it on Netflix. I entered it on Meta. I entered it on Uber. I entered it on Apple. I entered it on Google. I entered it on Dutch Bros. I entered it on Amazon, Kava, Microsoft, Texas Roadhouse, Palantir, and NVIDIA. This is, again, what my retirement account currently looks at. Right now, again, we've invested about $60,000 to $65,000. 5% in this company, 10% here, 10% here. I noticed the 10% guys are all the Mag 7 plays. 10% in Google, 10% in Amazon, 10% in Microsoft, 10% Palantir is the only one that's not, but again, you know, we're kind of going harder on that one. So the thing is, we have 100% invested out of the 60,000, all broken up into these plays. Now, I do have another 65,000 that I'm going to be investing. As I said, probably another 30,000 when we go down to the 460s, and then probably the other 35,000 remaining if we go back on down to sub 450s. Okay? So, want to make sure that you guys are fully aware of where I am at, what I am currently doing. But to me, there's part of me that, yes, I want the stock market to recover, but there's also part of me that kind of gets a little giddy when the stock market continues to drop. There is part of me that gets a little giddy when I start seeing the stock market start getting weaker and weaker and weaker. When I start seeing, again, a little bit of the giddiness as, again, things start fading back on down and things start dropping more, you know? So, team, start again. Take a few moments. Think about that. Make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Texas Roadhouse, absolutely. I love their butter. Their butter's so good, guys. Texas Roadhouse may have the best bread to butter combo out there out of every chain restaurant I know. Out of every chain restaurant I know, I would say Texas Roadhouse has the best bread to butter ratio there is. The bread comes out steaming hot, and the butter is super soft, and it's like a cinnamon butter, and it's so good. Probably the best out there. It is. Now, traders, hey, everyone, let's make sure that we're all set, ready to go. Let's make sure that we're all set here. Guys, I'm going to give everyone about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Take a little breather right here. We've just been going after it for about the past hour straight. So we just been, rocking and rolling for about the past 1 hour straight right there. Now, let's see what we have coming on up here on this day. Let's kind of re-talk about everything we did as we get closer towards 9 o'clock. Let's get ourselves prepared, and let's make sure that we're all set, ready to rock. Now, guys, if you guys are enjoying what I have done already so far as well, make sure you guys smash that thumbs on up and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys haven't, and also get ready for next week. Next week, if you guys do not know, is Friday, or excuse me, not Friday, is our Black Friday sale. We have a Black Friday sale next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week is our Black Friday sale in spring. Everything is 50% off. So if you are, again, a person who says, man, I would love to be able to work with Sean every day. I would love to be able to be part of TradeCaster. I'd love to be able to have access to all the video libraries. Hey, I would love to be able to be part of the chat room. I'd love to be able to get all these educational videos. I'd love to be able to watch all the other streamers. Every single membership next week is going to be 50% off. Lifetime will be cut off by $1,700. The annual membership will be cut off by $800. The semi-annual membership will be cut off by $450. The monthly membership will be cut on off by about, $85. Now, please note, if you become a monthly member, every single one of these guys is just for the one-time fee. So it's not going to be you stay a monthly member at $84 forever. That is just going to be for the first month. Same exact thing for the 6 month or the annual. So what's the best deal? The best deal is the bigger you get, because again, the bigger you get, the more time you're going to have with the discounted price. The best deal out there is going to be the lifetime membership for $1,700 off. So if you guys are, again, looking to be having access for life on TradeCaster.com, we are taking off $1,700 for, again, the sale. And you guys will never have to pay another nickel or dime again to be part of TradeCaster. Everything from this point on will be free for you. So that is going to be absolutely insane, absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. So make sure, again, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Black Friday sale over on TradeCaster.com. Do not miss it, guys. Going to be our last 50% sale until next November. So again, we probably have like a 10% sale, a 15% sale at some point throughout the year again, but not another 50%. 50% is as big as we can possibly go. So last sale before, again, next Black Friday in November. Make sure you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll over on TradeCaster so you guys can join us and watch us every single day. Guys, let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get fired on up, and let's see what this day brings us. I'm going to give everyone about a 10 to 15 minute break, and we're going to jump back on the mic and get ready for some fun. All right, I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Let's get ready to have some fun. Let's get ready to make this money. And of course, we're going to be crushing it. Got a lot of opportunity ahead. Let's do it, traders, and I'll see you guys back here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's get after it.
We them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla, holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We them boys.
It's no surprise I won't be here tomorrow. I can't believe that I stayed till today. Yeah, you and I will be a tough act to follow, but I know in time we'll find this was no surprise.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
then breaks like a heart. And then breaks like a heart.
I'll keep you my dirty little secret. Don't tell anyone, or you'll be just another regret.
Yo.
Looks like another club banger. They better hang on when they throw this thing on. Get a little drink on, they gon' flip for the sake on shit. You can bank on it. Pedicure, manicure, kitty cat claws. The way she climbs up and down them poles, looking like one of them booty cat dolls. Trying to get back to my drawers. Stepped up stage, didn't think I saw her. Reached up behind me and she's like, yeah. I'm like, I know, let's cut to the chase. Don't clown the waist back to my place. Plus from the club to the cribs like a Mallory. I'm more like a paddler, shallow say. And plus I got a pal every gallus game. In fact, he's the one singing the song that's playing.
In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed to sea, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines.
Don't act like you forgot. I called a shot. Like blah, blah, blah. Pay me what you want it. Don't act like you forgot. Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Pay me what you want it. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my. Bitch better have my money.
Then you're left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're a sunflower, I think your love would be too much. Or you'd be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower, you're the sunflower. Oh, I was a king under your control. And oh, I wanna feel like you've let me go. When your heart's
I know you see somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. Live life, breathe air. I know somehow we're gonna get there and feel so wonderful.
Cause you're the next Drew Barry. I want more. And all these other girls keep wondering what I fuck with you for. Cause you're the next Drew Barry. Yeah. And I want more. And all these other girls keep wondering what I fuck with you for. Yeah. Cause you're the next Drew Barry.
love to your new life. Treat her better. We gotta let go of all of our goals. We both know we ain't kids no more. Send my love to your new life. Treat her better. We gotta let go of all of our goals.
And I got to his office fully prepared to suck his dick.
This is why
I wanna see flies, so baby take it off. Baby take it off. I can dive a little deeper when you got nothing on. So baby take it off. Baby take it off. If you can let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Our love ain't water under the bridge. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Our love ain't water under the bridge. And turn me on. And turn me on.
Jason Bourne.
Nobody can drag me down. My life, you stood by me when no one else was ever behind me. All these lights, they can't blind me. With your love, nobody can drag me down. The girls, they don't talk tough. They do their thing, but I'll be with my homies. No club and the bottles, just a house in the bottle. Call me crazy, but I'll be with my homies. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium.
Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah.
Let me see the dark side as well as the bright. I'm gonna love you inside out. Love you inside out.
Did you touch my drum set?
such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Tell me what it had to go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. Promise me I'm never gonna find you fake it. No, no, no.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Got sarcasm in the classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. Boom, 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 boom. I want a double boom. Let's spend the night together, together in my room. We don't need no education. We don't need I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even
Hold me up, tie me down, 'cause I never wanna leave your side. Swear to never let you down, and it's been eating me alive. You can take me home, you can never let me go. Hold me up, hold me up.
And it's sweet, sweet, sweet victory. And it's ours for the taking. It's ours for the fight.
And tie me down.
And I'll still be here, stargazing. I'll still look up for love. I'll still be here, stargazing. I'll still look up for love. Sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else.
I push you out and you come right back. Don't see a point in planning. If only you would tell me you got a fetish for my love.
Sugar pie,
When
honey
you
bunch.
come right back. Don't see a point in planning.
I can't help myself.
When you come right back. You got a fetish.
I'm the lizard king.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to officially kick off this day now, don't we? We have to officially kick off this day. Man. Guys, I'm already so jacked up on this day. I mean, it is so amazing. It literally is. It is absolutely incredible to be able to be here with you guys every single day, working and getting after it, making this money, being able to trade, doing what we do best. Guys, I love this job. I love waking on up. I love trading. I love going over the markets. I love helping you guys on out and seeing you guys match my enthusiasm, match my energy. What I want you guys to do right now is I want you to stand against the wall and start beating down the wall. Turn that again, 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom into a 1 bedroom. Start punching holes in things. Let's go. Okay. All right, guys, let's get ready to rock here. Now, if you guys are excited though, get ready, smash that thumbs on up. Get ready to get this day started, and let's see what we can do here. We have already been talking for like the past 2 hours straight. We've already been doing this for about the past 2 hours straight, but I know there's some people joining us right now. Now, with that being stated, we've gone over a lot of information over the last 2 hours. First things first that I want you guys to realize is that I've already made money on this day. I've already made $353. Now, what's so great about making this $353, guys, is we have a brand new record high in the small account challenge, which is absolutely great. We got to get this going right here. Let me again bring this on up because we have our thermometer that we need to add on the small account challenge. We have our goal amount of what right here? We have our goal amount of $25,000. And we are now sitting with that $353, guys. We were at we were at $9,053. Now we're at $353. So let's just do, again, a quick little calculation right here. When we go over from $9,053 plus $353, we are now sitting at $9,400. $9,406 over on the small account, and we are all set, ready to rock and roll as we are slowly progressing right now, traders. We are only $600 away from being able to cross on over that 100% return mark. That 100% return mark on the small account. Now, this small account, traders, has probably been the most different small account I've ever done. Now, what do I mean by the most different small account I've ever done? The thing is, traders, we are doing this while the stock market is absolutely falling apart. We are doing this while the stock market is dumping down towards lows. We are doing this as the SPY has fallen 21% so far. The thing is, people are losing money. People are crying. People are running to the streets. People are saying, oh man, guys, we are making 100% return on our small account right now. Every single trade has been live. Every single trade of the P&L has been shown. Every single trade has been recorded. Now this morning, traders, we were live at 6:50 a.m. 6:50. It was super early. I got involved in Vero. Now you might say, Dek, how did you even find this? To be frank with you, I wake up every morning right around 6:20. I, again, stumbled out of bed, walked on over, set up my computer, did a few things, and I looked on over, and guess what I saw? I again took a look and I saw Vero right here. Vero was the #1 top gainer, and it was up around 300% at around 6:45 in the morning. The spike that I want you guys to notice the most on here is going to be right here, this spike. Now, Vero went from $9 to $10 to $11, and it just started pushing up higher and higher and higher. What did I do? I jumped in at the price of $11.73. Right above me, you guys can see my entry. I jumped in at $11.73, $11.70, and $11.71. I even got in a couple small entries, 20 shares and 10 shares at $12. This play then, so I'm in at this entry. This is my entry, the orange line. The stock then shortly after spiked all the way on up towards a high of around $13.31. As the stock started coming back on down, I locked in my profits, and I was able to make a nice $353. Got in at $6.50, got out at around $7.01. So you guys can see it's right here. You guys can see everything. It's recorded as well, and I know a lot of people are awake with me and trading that play. So again, that was one of those plays that I set up the scanners, and I said, boom, let's get after it. Let's make this money, and let's trade. So again, Vero, that was an awesome little trade to kick off my day. Now, for the people who were not here with me, for the people that were not awake with me, it really, again, came on down to one thing. The one thing it came on down to was this low float. The only reason I bought the stock. It again has 487,000 in float. Now guys, how crazy is that? That stock has sub 1 million in float. Now, you want to hear something wild? You want to know something crazy? Is that yesterday we saw NAOV go crazy. Does anyone remember NAOV from yesterday? Stock went from $3 all the way up to $16. Does anyone remember what is the float over on NAOV? Well, if we go ahead and take a look over on display, NAOV, go ahead and break this on down. We go over the statistics right here. We can see this float was 337,000 in float. Okay, that's crazy. So the number one top gainer on Tuesday was under 1 million in float. The number one top gainer today on Wednesday is under 1 million in float. Does anyone remember Monday's number one top gainer? Monday's top gainer was JNVR. JNVR went from $5 to $50. Let's go ahead and take a look at what float this was. JNVR. When JNVR went on this massive rip, massive run, massive spike, you guys can see the float was 604,000, under 1 million. So you're telling me right here, on JNVR went on a $50 spike. NAOV went on a $20 spike. And now I'm waking up this morning and I'm seeing a stock that's starting to get some hype and momentum. And again, it's under 1 million in float. Guys, it doesn't matter what the news is. If there is no news whatsoever, the stock market's crashing. I'm buying the lowest float stock and trying to make a quick buck. That's all it is. That's all it comes on down to. So I want you guys to understand why I jumped in on that play. No other reason for me other than the fact it was a top gainer, it was a low float, and I know I was one of the first people in on it. So we can actually scroll all the way back on down here. And let's go over towards right here. Look at this, guys. It says right here at 7:30 in the morning over on Fox Runner. It says low floats, low floats, low floats. Watch low float stocks today as these have been the winners. Let's be honest. When the stock market is falling, it is hard to find a 100% breakout. So how do we find the winners? Well, what we have noticed is that every morning the best top gainers in pre-market are stocks with 5 million float and under. Regardless if the stock has news or not, the lower the float, the stocks are always the winner, right? The lower float stocks are always the winners. So the image below shows the current top gainers as of 7:17 a.m. The majority of them have less than 5 million in float. VERO, under 1 million. FMTO, 2 million. WRX, 1 million. DXF, 179,000. SGN, 1.7 million. Let's take a look at the news. Let's look at right now. 487, 1 million, 311, 1.2. Guys, the rule of thumb for anyone who does not know is anything sub 5 million in float. 5 million and under is a very low float. Anything 10 million under is considered low float. So really, anything 10 million and under is great. 5 million is incredible. Under 1 million, like, it's nuts, okay? So really, what is float? A stock refers to the number of shares of a company of the stocks that are available for public trading as the float. So in simple terms, the float is just the supply, right? When you have a low supply and a high demand, the stock can increase dramatically. The best way to think about this, guys, is imagine it's Christmas Eve and you promised your son, little Timmy, you were buying him an Xbox. You see a parent with the last Xbox in Walmart. You walk up to that parent and you say, hey, that Xbox is $300. I'll give you $600 for it right now. And the parent goes, ooh, okay, hold on. And then another parent runs on over and says, is that the last Xbox? What'd you offer him? $600? I'll give you $900 for that Xbox. And another parent runs on over who forgot about little Timmy. And they said, okay, I will give you $3,000 for that Xbox right now. The guy goes, here you go. Guess what? That Xbox is only $300. He just got a $3,000, trade for that. How insane is that? Because it's low supply and high demand. So that's why, again, yesterday we saw NAOV spike up over 400%. There was no news. It's just the fact that it's a low float play. People are scared to trade blue chips right now, so they're just running into any low float pump they can find. So when we actually look for today, guys, when we're actually looking at our watch list today, right, it says your watch list today. We do have stocks with news. We do have previous top gainers, but then we do just have low float stocks that you might want to keep your eyes peeled on. So the thing is, traders, there is not a lot of credibility. It's so funny, guys. Look at the whole entire dark blue list right now. Look at the whole entire dark blue list on that, and they're all just stocks with low floats. Some of them have news. Some of them don't have news. It's just, again, all low float plays that are trying to go on rips and runs and spikes and climbs. That's absolutely hilarious to me because it is just all stocks right here that everyone is trying to be able to make some money on. So, team, let's talk about our true watch list of today. All right. And then we're going to talk about the S&P 500 here today. So we do have, again, our watch list. The stocks that we need to watch this morning is VERO. VERO says they're going to be announcing earnings this upcoming coming soon. So earnings are going to be coming on out like tomorrow or early next week. VERO is a stock that already traded. Again, under 1 million in float. Watch for this play to get back above $13. Back above $13, that's where this stock can start going crazy. right? VERO is the number 1 top gainer. Number 2 is PHIO. PHIO does have news as well. It says it maintains a $4 price target. That's not really anything crazy. But again, it maintains $4 price target, which means it's not trying to get to $4 today. It means over the next 52 weeks, it's going to try to get to $4. That's what analysts predict. But remember, guys, it doesn't matter what the news is. If it's a low float, we know it can spike. PHIO maintains $4 price target. Good enough for me. Buy, 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 buy. Stock right now is up 123%. So how crazy is that, right? We have SNAL, which filed a small filing right here. Not really anything too crazy. Doesn't really have any sort of volume. MBOT talking about 100% robotic navigation success. That's a lower float play, or a 16 million float, a little bit bigger, but it does have some good credible news right there. We do have previous top gainers, guys. Previous top gainers, JNVR. This is definitely one I would say keep your eyes peeled on today. JNVR, guys, is setting itself up in one of those perfect mid-candle breakout patterns. There's a little bit more on that we're going to discuss tomorrow, or discuss in a couple minutes. We also have AREB. AREB right here. This is another play that if this stock can ever start getting back above $16, this one can start going crazy. If I'm just being blunt, because we're kind of running out of time here. If I'm being blunt, I would say watch VERO and get back above $12. But other than that, what's the best spiker? XXII and PHIO. These are the ones that are getting crazy. These are the ones that are going on nuts. These are the ones that are ripping and running at this time. So the thing is, XXII and PHIO are the 2 lowest float stocks that have a lot of potential. Okay? So again, make sure that you guys are set. Make sure you guys are being smart. Make sure you guys are fully aware of these 2 stocks, because this is the one that is making the most amount of profit at this time. Okay? Now, with that being stated, traders, right? Let's go over a little bit something else. Now, I do want to go over JNVR. JNVR is a play that spiked from $5 to $50. We just had a pullback back down to $25 yesterday. Remember I talked about the pullback back down to $25 yesterday? And now it's trying to hold up around 30 bucks. This is one of those plays that can absolutely go crazy here today. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So it says stocks to watch. Previous top gainers are ready to spike. So watch for continuation on these previous breakouts. One of the best ways to day trade smaller caps in a crashing market is by sticking to top gainers. Why we say this is because if a stock became a top gainer, it already has great hype, it already has great attention, it already has big volume, and again, the market is showing weakness, so it's nice to be able to know the hottest movers out there. Now, what a lot of investors do not realize is sometimes on the 3rd day, we can see some of the biggest breakouts. So for instance, day 1, stock XYZ, whatever, goes on a very big spike and runs 100%, usually from a low float and a hot press release. Day 2, stock XYZ experiences a pullback. The pullback is due to an overextended move on day 1, profit taking begins and shorters take over. But on day 3, buyers return to XYZ, as now it's great dip buy value. This leads to an increase in price, shorters get squeezed, and the stock moves up even higher. So the example would be RGC from last month. Stock went all the way from around $2 to $65, and it really started picking on up after day 3. So again, JNVR is one of those plays that can easily spike today. If it can start breaking $35, this one could easily rip and run, easily go crazy. AREB probably has to get back above $12, but that's one of those plays that can start going crazy as well. So guys, just have your watch list set and prepared. Your watch list as of now, in my eyes, VERO gets back above $12, can rip and run. I already traded it on this day. Target would be, again, $15 plus. XXII just looks like a random low float spiker. Stock could definitely go crazy today. It's again 311,000 in float. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. You might have a crazy one on your hands. PHIO does have again a $4 price target. Doesn't matter about the price target. It's again a 1 million in float stock. And we got WRX, which doesn't really have much going for it. I would say focus on the top 3 lowest float top gainers to kick off this day. Now, on top of that, guys, we have talked about, a big plethora of options out there on this day. And again, you guys can take a look over on all these plays this morning. Now, we do got to talk about something big here, traders. And obviously, that is the S&P 500 at this time. The S&P 500 is taking another beatdown. The S&P 500 is getting crushed at this moment. The S&P 500 is fading and falling. So let's just get everyone on the same page, okay? Let's get everyone on the same page right here. What do we need at this time? Well, what we have right here, it says, SPY, what is going on? Here are the main key points on the market drop this morning. So these are the key points. If you guys saying, Deck, why is the market dropping? This is why. Number one, President Donald Trump tariffs are in effect. They went into effect last night at midnight, including a 104% tariff on Chinese imports. Beijing has responded by announcing a reciprocal of 84% tariff rates on US goods, which is going to start April 10th. So guys, April 10th, which is tomorrow, that's going to be starting. Treasury Secretary Scott Bentz is calling for China to negotiate with Trump. US markets are set to open up sharply lower. So what we basically have right here is this morning, China slaps 84% tariffs on US goods in response to Trump, which led to the Dow futures tumbling 800 points as China hits back at Trump's tariffs, which then leads to bond markets crater 10 yield spikes briefly above 4.5% and confounding move that's worrying all of Wall Street. So right now, team, what do we have on the S&P 500? We are back on down to, again, the 490s. We are seeing more drama in the S&P 500 than an episode of The Bachelor. Right now, traders, we have the S&P 500, and we're about to open up here in the next few minutes, but I don't care. I want to talk about it and make sure everyone is aware of what's going on. So if you don't want to listen to me, mute me, and again, focus on the S&P 500. But we have so much movement on the S&P 500 at this time. Let's go back to the very beginning here. It says S&P 500, more drama than a soap opera. So team, yesterday, the stock market drops for a fourth day in a row. Monday afternoon and Tuesday's trading session looked like an amazing recovery was on the horizon. The S&P 500 was up 2%. The Dow was up over 1,000 points during the first hour of yesterday's trading session. But unfortunately, by the end of the day, we saw the Dow close with a 300-point drop. We saw the NASDAQ down 335 points. We saw the S&P 500 down 79 points. We have not seen a market this volatile since, again, 2020. So the SPY was up huge yesterday and gave it all on back. The SPY, of course, was up near around 520. Right now, guys, we're back at 489. This is the big thing I want you guys to realize right here. The S&P 500, where we have just opened on up at this time, okay? This is absolutely massive for every single person, is the S&P 500. We have just opened on up, and we are still down about 15% year to date. Now, that is not, again, S&P 500, we are again sitting at around the price of $494. 15% year to date. If you add again the high, the record high, that's about a 3% drop. We are down about 19% year to date. Okay, everyone stick with me right here. 19% year to date. We have more room to fall. We have more room to drop. We have more room of weakness. We have more room of worry. We have more room of concern. And I'm going to load up these scanners and I will show you exactly what I mean by this, guys. So going back over to the S&P 500, we're going to keep this on watch at this time. But this is so crucial. This is so important right here. So I'm hoping, literally right here, what I'm hoping is I change your life. Okay, so let's get everyone again on the same exact page. The best way to predict, because I think every single person right now is absolutely freaking out. They're saying, how low can the S&P 500 fall? How low are we going to drop on down to? Let's again, figure this on out. We can use math. I know it's a crazy concept. We can use math to be able to figure out how low the S&P 500 is going to drop on down to. How? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it. These are the recessions that we have had in the stock market throughout history. We've had a drop in 1970, which we fell 36%. We had a drop in 1974, where we fell 48%. 1980, 17%. 1982, 27%. 1990, 20%. 2002, 49%. 2009, 57%. 2020, 34%. Now, if anyone does not know, you can actually, again, figure out the average of all of these. And I think that's the smartest thing to do. What is the average of every single one of these drops? It is actually going to be putting us at a 36% drop. The S&P 500 over the last, let's just go with 60 years, has fallen 36% whenever we fall into a recession. Sometimes they're bigger, like a 48% drop, and sometimes they're only a 20% drop. Traders, just a little heads up for you guys, if anyone does not know, is we have already fallen 21%. So the bottom could potentially be in. I don't think the bottom is in. But we have already fallen 21% from the highest point of 613 to now, again, the lowest point back on down towards around that price of 481. Now, a lot of people do expect us going lower. And the reason why we're going to be going lower is because there is so much confusion still. We have tariffs going on in the United States. We have tariffs going on in Europe and China and Canada and Mexico. And right now at this time, no one has any sort of grip on what is truly going to happen. Is there a trade war going on? Is a recession going to happen? What is going to be going on? But the thing is, we have an opportunity right here in front of us. Let's bring this on over. This is a history map of all of the recessions that we have experienced in the United States. We had a recession back in 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2020s. Traders, what do you guys realize? You can realize that these recessions are such tiny little step backs compared to what the stock market actually does. If you tell me right now that we are actually on a 21% drop, and we can go through again and here and see where our drops are, and these drops right here correlate to only these little red pullbacks, these little tiny red pullbacks. Guys, why would we not want to get ready for the best opportunity of probably your lifetime? If you are 35 or under, this could be the best opportunity of your lifetime where you are going to be getting filled on these little maroon areas. Little one-step pullback to take 10 steps forward, to take half a step back, to take 100 steps forward, to take again 3 steps back, to take 20 steps forward. Look how big expansion is after a recession. So the average recession lasts for 10 months, not 20 years, not again 5 years. Guys, 10 months. Recessions are like that. Recessions happen just at a blink of an eye. 10 months goes by so quickly, right? I know in the present moment it doesn't sound like it, but again, 10 months goes by very quickly, and that's the average. Sure, there could be some that are about 12 to 13 months. Sure, there could be some that are only, again, 6 months. In 2020, people, again, still discussed did we have a recession or not, because it was like less than a month, right? It was just a big drop and we came right back on up. So the thing is, team, if we have an opportunity right now where we know that the S&P 500 is currently down 21%, that could potentially be the bottom. But let's average this on out. Let's again go back to a larger time frame here. And if we go back into a larger time frame, we know that this is the very top, up near around that 613 mark. We know right now we are back on down, or we were back on down towards around that 481 mark. That was right on a 21% drop. And now we want to think, what is a 36% drop? Well, guys, if we actually do the math here, a 36% drop is going to actually be bringing us all the way on down towards around that 395 mark. So if we actually hit the average of where, again, a recession would be, it would be back on down towards just sub $400. That would be the average. Now, is there a chance that we go higher than the average? Could we fall more than that and drop all the way on down towards 360? The answer is absolutely. But are we going to go sub 400? To be frank with you, I don't think so. I think that this is going to be a pullback. I think we are going to see a recession. I do think we are going to see an opportunity of a lifetime. But I don't think we're going to be going back on down to 400. As I have again explained multiple times throughout history, is usually the 50-month moving average is the best overall opportunity that you can have. Is the best overall opportunity you can get. You can clearly state and you can clearly see that we bounced off the 50-month moving average in 2016. And we bounced off this area in 2018, and we bounced off this area in 2020, and we bounced off this area in 2022. 2020, we did go slightly underneath it for about a month, right? Where we actually did dump underneath this area. But I would say if you can have an average at that mark, that is going to be the best area. That is going to be the best area that we are going to be able to find, experience. So, is there a chance that we actually do fall on down a 36% drop and the S&P 500 crashes on down towards around this 400 region? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Is there a chance that maybe we do more than a 36% drop and maybe we go on down towards around the 380s? Absolutely. Guys, I'm not a fortune teller. That could definitely happen. Or is there a chance that, hey, we just fell 21% and you know what? The bottom is now in. And from this point on, we are going to start moving our way on up. There's a chance that that could happen as well. The thing is, we do not know. I do not know. I can only tell you, again, break it on down in the most statistical manner on what could we have. So, what did you guys know that I've done? I entered 2 days ago. 2 days ago, when the S&P 500 had its biggest drop, I entered. Now, I didn't get filled at the price of 481. I got filled at around the price of 495. I am in with my retirement account with about a 20% drop at this moment with about 50% of my account, all right? I still have another 50% that I could be able to add on to this. So where do I want to add on to it? I'll tell you right now, I'm probably going to do a quarter of that percentage right here. And if we go anything lower, I'm going to do more back down here. So I'm more looking for, number one, I'm going to look to see if we can get closer towards a 30% drop. Right around a 28, 29% drop would be right around that 460 mark. And anything under 450 is where I would add the last little bit. Because at any moment underneath 450 is where we could just bounce right back on up. Where we could bounce back on up and we could get this opportunity. But the worst thing you can do right now in stock trading is say, this is such a bad market, I don't want to trade. Guys, bad market, you don't want to trade? What are you talking about? Honestly, tell me, what are you talking about? It's a bad market, you don't want to trade. Oh, well, the market's moving down. Guys, this is the most volatile market we have seen in years. We are seeing the S&P 500 dump $20 in a day, spike $40, give back $20. If you're a day trader, this is a dream. This is an absolute dream if you're a day trader. And if you're a long-term investor, this is an absolute dream. Think about all the people that said, oh yeah, I bought at the bottom of 2008. Wouldn't you be jealous of that person? You bought at the bottom of 2008? Oh yeah, again, yeah, I bought at the bottom in 2020. I saw, again, the markets were crashing. I bought on in, and now, again, it's all... You bought in the bottoms of 2020? Guys, what do you think is going to be happening in 5 years? In 5 years, again, people are going to say, you bought it at the bottom of in 2025? Yeah, everyone was kind of scared and running away, but I knew, again, the markets were going to bounce back on up as they always do, and, I got involved. It's like, where did you get involved in your plays? Oh, Apple. It's like, where'd you buy Apple? Apple, I got filled at around the price of 161. What? 161? Apple's at, 5 years later at 500 at this time. Oh, where'd you get filled on NVIDIA? Oh yeah, NVIDIA actually got filled again at $89. $89? NVIDIA is all the way up to $1,000. There are great odds that NVIDIA is going to do a meta-like move over the next few years. Came on down, get a bounce play, get, loaded on up, and see that thing go crazy. There is, again, a great opportunity that one of these plays, if it's Amazon or Google or Uber or something like that, is going to make a Netflix-like move where it comes back on down and then it spikes on up. The issue with stock traders and the issue with the internet and the issue with, again, following people on Reddit or wherever on Twitter is you see people do this. This is the way stock trading works. Ready? This is the mentality. Right? It goes like this. Oh, Netflix is a good company. Oh, Netflix is the best ever. Guys, if you are not buying Netflix right now, you're an idiot. You're an absolute moron. Everyone buy Netflix at this time. I'm putting my life savings over on Netflix. And the majority of people are buying it right here. Then guess what happens? It starts fading and falling. Netflix sucks. Netflix, I hate this stock. I would never touch Netflix in my life. LOL, did you guys really buy Netflix at the top? What a loser. I can't believe you bought Netflix. I would never buy Netflix. The next thing you know, oh, I love Netflix. Netflix is the greatest ever. Oh man, it's at $1,000. Guys, it's not going to stop till $5,000 target. And now it starts falling back on down. Traders, if you want to listen to the world, you will lose every single time. The best way to trade is when everyone is saying Netflix is the best company in the world, it's time to sell. And when everyone is saying Netflix sucks, it is time to buy. And when everyone says Netflix is going up to a $5,000 price target, it's time to sell. And when everyone says Netflix sucks, it's time to buy. Okay? That's the way, again, the world works in trading. When people, because the thing is, 90% of people are too emotional. 90% of people are going to say, oh, Netflix is the greatest stock in the world. It's only going to go higher. Hey, if you miss out now, you're going to miss out on generational wealth. You're buying at the very tippity top. That's not how stock trading is profitable. Stock trading is profitable by looking at good, credible companies, not penny stocks right now, good, credible companies, and buying them when everyone is running away from them. Guys, I am loading up at this time on NVIDIA. I am loading up. I am in right now on NVIDIA at $91. I have loaded up at this time over on Uber. I am buying it on Uber. I'm in on Uber right now when it's at the price of $62. I loaded up over on Meta. I'm getting involved in Meta. I'm in at Meta right here at, again, $500. Excuse me. So again, while all these plays can go down, you better believe I'm buying every single one of them when every single person's running away. VST, guys, I'm in on VST right now underneath the price of $100. VST, I got filled again over 2 days ago at the price of $96. So again, VST, I'm in on this play. When everyone is saying these plays suck, these are the plays that do not suck. They have gone through the test of time. These plays, all the ones that have added 10% on, Meta, Netflix, right? Google, Amazon, right? Microsoft, Palantir, a lot of these companies, NVIDIA here, have gone through the tests of time. They have gone through 2000, 2008. They've gone through 2020. And guess what? They're all just back at record highs. These are all dips. These are all incredible opportunities. And these are all chances that I'm going to have success to make as much money as possible. So when I take a look over on the S&P 500 right here, and I see at this moment the S&P 500 is back on up towards around 500, there's part of me that wants it to get a little bit more of a dump. Come back down towards that 460. Let's fall again 28%. Let's fall back on down to 417 or so. Let's get towards around that, 32, 33%. Let's again get a little bit weakness because we are going to be having opportunities that we have not seen in years. And if you're telling me that as a trader, as an investor, I can get in on one of these maroon pullbacks, let's absolute go. Traders, we know what's coming on up in 2026, 2027, 2028. And I know there's going to be people right now, no, Dek, this time's different. Guys, the housing market, that was different. No, again, interest rates, that's different. Oh, no, again, this thing going around the world that has to make us stay inside. Oh, this time's different. Guys, every time is different. And it's always going to bounce back on up. Always. It will always bounce back on up every single time. Guaranteed. Okay? So the thing is, realize that right now, we have an average of a 36% drop. We are at 21% so far. Can we go underneath that and get to the average of 36? We had, again, 49% drop, 57% drop, 34% drop. The bottom could potentially be in. And I will say, during this period is when we will have the most confusion. You guys can see that image says the average recession lasts 10 months. 10 months is the average recession. That does not mean we are going to see 10 months of fading and falling and dropping in weakness. That means it is going to take 10 months for us to totally get out of the hole. Here is again $600. We have been falling and fading for about 2.5 months now. It will take again what? A total of 10 months to get ourselves back on up. So it might only be 3 months of actual falling. It might only actually be, let's say, 3 months of falling. It might be, let's say, 6 months of consolidation with higher lows. And it might just be 1 month of spiking right back on up. But 10 months for us to get out of the hole right here. So team, these are quick. These are fast. It's not 10 months of falling. It's 10 months of, again, finding on up. Now, again, as we have already discussed, as we already talked about, there is so much confusion at this moment. Take a look right here at the bottom. It says, when will the stock market climb back up? This is crucial. It says, easy answer, eliminate fear and greed. Or excuse me, eliminate fear and give the people clarity. That's it. When will the stock market move on up? When we eliminate fear and we give the people clarity. Traders, what do we know about today? What we know about today is Trump again is adding 104% tariffs on Chinese imports. Beijing has again reciprocal tariffs of 84%. We know the markets are falling and fading. China slapping 84%. Dow is tumbling again 800 points. Bonds crater. 10-year spikes briefly above 4.5%. We're seeing right now is the most confusing, the most anxiety-filled time that we are going to have. It's not going to be like this for 10 months. Traders, the best analogy I can give, just like I gave earlier this morning, is imagine again day one to college. You go off to college, and after day one, you don't make any friends. You don't have any routine. Your mom and dad aren't doing your laundry. They're not cooking your food. You are having an awful time. And by day 3, day 4, you're calling your parents saying, hey, I don't think college is for me. I'm just not having fun here. I'm going to drop out. And they say, stick with it a little bit. And then all of a sudden, day 6, you make a friend. And that friend again introduces you to their friends. And then all of a sudden, that one of their friends takes you over and you start joining a club, a sport, or something like that. And you make more friends. Then you start learning again how the routine works at college. You start figuring things on out. You start enjoying the freedom. And now again, about 25, 30 days later, you're saying, I absolutely love this. I'm free. I'm able to do whatever I want. I have my best friends. I have a core group. I'm on the volleyball club. I'm enjoying classes. I'm being able to, again, set myself up for success. Just again, 20 days ago, you said, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to drop out. Because again, you didn't know what was going to happen. You were scared. You had anxiety. You didn't make any friends. None of that. Now again, 20 days later, you're saying this is the best thing ever. Traders, I think right now is kind of like that. Right now, we want to drop out. Right now, we're saying, oh man, the stock market, tariffs aren't working. Trump, just stop with the tariffs and let's go ahead and let's just kind of go back to what we were doing. Right now, again, China is giving us retaliation. Other countries giving us retaliation. America is staying tough. This and that. Guess what? This is the biggest point of confusion. You know what's going to happen from here? Trump's going to talk with China. China's going to come over to talk to Trump. Trump's going to talk to Europe. Europe's going to come on over. There's going to be meetings. There's going to be negotiations. There's going to be positives coming on up in the future. So the thing is, I'm not talking about just today. Today's the worst day. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about probably over the next week, maybe over the next 2 weeks. There's still going to be kind of like, oh, I want to drop out. Oh, I want to go home. But guess what? We're going to start making some negotiations. We're going to start finding a little happy medium ground. There will be a point that China says, you know what, we'll do that if you do this. And we'll compromise. But right now, all we're doing is button heads. But there's no compromise at this time. There's no point there. We're still seeing the markets drop. We don't have any interest rates at this interest rates being cut at this time. Once we get interest rates cut, once we start finding compromise, once we start again finding that middle ground, give a little to get a little, that's when we're going to be able to see the markets move itself back on up. But right now at this moment here, traders, this S&P 500, let it fall, let it fade, because we are about to have an opportunity that we have not seen since 2020, or even better yet, since 2008. If this market fades and drops and you are underneath the age of 35 and you are going to be able to enter in on a 20%, 25% pullback, you are going to be setting yourself up for success. You know why? Because guess what? If you can go ahead and you start buying Apple, let's say when we start pulling back around 36%, you are going to be buying it at the same price people are buying in 2020. You can go ahead and buy Amazon, and you're going to be getting prices back in 2020. And you are going to be able to buy Nvidia, and Nvidia obviously went crazy, but you're going to be able to get prices back in like 2024. You know, very low sub $100 prices, and you're going to be able to get whatever stock you think on about a 5-year discount. Every single one of these plays, you're going to be able to get like a 5-year discount over on these stocks. That's all we're doing. All we're doing, traders, is realizing, okay, we're going to fall into some sort of recession here. That's not scary at all. That's an absolute gift. Again, do you think I want to buy Nvidia when it's at 150? Do you think I want to buy Netflix when it's at 1,057? Do you guys think I want to buy Amazon when it's up 242? No, I want to buy when it's at 140. And then again, I make money as it runs up towards new highs. I know Amazon's going to hit a new high eventually. So again, if we can get in at these bottoms, that's where the money is going to be made. So I want you guys to start again coming and showing on up here with enthusiasm, saying, Dek, this is the greatest time of stock trading we have had for the last 5 years. And on top of that, the market is extremely active. So this is absolutely incredible. So I am fired up at this time. So we already know, Dek, where am I going to look to enter? Number one, I'm going to be looking to enter off that monthly moving average. That's going to be back on down towards the 460s. I'm going to be adding another quarter of my percentage. I got about $65,000 left that I can be able to add. Probably going to add about 30%. Or $30,000, excuse me, when we come back down into the 460s. I will save the other $30,000 probably underneath 440s. So right now, just a little heads on up. I already got my starting position. Dek, where'd you get your first starting position? I got my first starting position at around the price of $498. $498 is where I jumped in on to begin with. That's about a 20% drop on the S&P 500 from the high to where we're at. Where's my next position? My next position is when the market come back on down to the monthly moving average where we have bounced that multiple times. This is going to be about a 26% pullback. Okay, great. That's going to put my new average is going to be probably somewhere right into towards the 470s, or actually it's because it's only a quarter, probably more up towards again the 485 region. That's going to be my new average. Then on top of that, if we go even lower, I would do everything left I got in the 430s. Now, Dek, what if it does go back down to 400s? That's still going to bring my average probably right towards around that 465-ish mark. Guys, if I'm getting filled at somewhere right around 465 and I have an average of around a 28% pullback, a 29% pullback from the highs, I'm not upset. Even if the market falls again 30, 35, 40%, sure, it's very difficult to time the bottom in any way, and maybe we can throw a little bit more money over there at those bottoms. But if I'm getting filled on the majority of my retirement account, while everything has fallen again around 20, 30, 40%, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that. Because again, I know, guess what's going to happen? I know we're going to see this type of move. I know we're going to see this type of move. I know we're going to see this type of move. I know we're going to see this type of move. Remember, let's not forget, Jerome Powell has something in his back pocket right now. At any moment, Jerome Powell can make the market go right back up to 600. Any moment. Guess what he would say? Hey, everyone, I know, again, times are tough right here. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to, again, cut interest rates. They were, again, up towards 7%. We're going to cut them on down. We're cutting interest rates on down, guys. We're going to stimulate the economy, get everyone going again. We're going to send out, again, these support checks again, 1,500. But at any moment, boom, the stock market will go right back up to 600. They would never allow the market to actually fall into a deep, dark recession, a deep, dark depression. Never would allow it. They wouldn't allow that, right? So guess what they would do? Hey, we start going a little bit too low. We start getting a little bit too crazy. Guess what? Inflation's at 2.4% right now. Guys, our target's 2%. It was at 9.1%. Sure, we don't want inflation to go back on up, but what's worse, inflation going on up or falling into a recession? They would say, hey, let's go ahead and let's stimulate this economy right back on up. After, again, the next 8 months, definitely get ready for Jerome Powell to come on out, pull that out of his back pocket, and boom, the market moves right back on up. So that is why we want to make sure every single person understands this. Traders, is everything I said over the last hour here, everything I talked about over the last hour here, does that all make sense? Is everyone, again, good here? Can everyone start having some clarity? That's the reason why I do these streams. I want to educate you. Yeah, I want to entertain you. I want to make you laugh. I want you having fun. But when it comes down to your money and your wealth and your future, I want you, again, to be able to take advantage of it. I want you to be able to say, all right, Dek, I got my game plan now. I know where to enter. I know what's going on. I appreciate this. I understand, again, the markets. I know, again, this is not a time of fear. It's a time of celebration. Guys, I feel like I should have a big recession party in my house. Anyone want to come on through? We're going to have, again, wings. We're going to be watching the Masters this weekend. We're going to be, watching the UFC fight. I'll have my fiance walking around, giving out little hors d'oeuvres. Anyone want to come to a recession party at my house? That's the thing that we should be doing, celebrating cheap prices. All right, so let's get ready to rock here. Right now, it is going to be absolutely great. FOMC meeting minutes today at 2 p.m. So we can definitely be able to see this opportunity across the board. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Want to make sure that you guys are absolutely dialed on in here. DXF, a little bit of a spike. How's VERO doing? VERO, quick little spike, quick little pullback. Traders, who was here yesterday? Yesterday, what did I tell you about NAOV? NAOV, guys, anyone remember? I said that NAOV was a lying, cheating person, right? What did I say the analogy is? The analogy is if you dated someone and their last 5 relationships ended because that person cheated with someone else, could you date that person and be able to say, oh, wow, hey, you're not going to cheat on me. You're different. No, not at all. I wouldn't be shocked if that all of a sudden happened, right? When you take a look over on NAOV, what am I getting out of this? Remember what I stated yesterday. Study the stock characteristics. What is this stock known for? The stock is known for spiking and giving all of its gains back. And I told you yesterday that NAOV by the end of the day was going to give every single gain on back because that's what it did here. And 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 also, again, that's what it does back here. Every single time the stock has spiked, every single time the stock has ripped and ran, it has given every single one of its gains back. And that's what I told you. It would be like, again, the stock's genes, right? If your, again, great granddaddy had red hair and your granddaddy had red hair and your dad had red hair, you are going to have red hair. So the thing is, NAOV spikes on up, gives it all back because that's what the stock does. So again, NAOV, I hope people shorted that stock. I hope people made money on it on the upside, but also did not hold it because we talked about how this stock was going to give everything back. Remember, all these stocks are up on low floats. That's it. The only reason these stocks are up is because of low floats. Low floats are just going to be easily manipulated, easily pumped, easy movement plays. So a lot of them spike hard and they dump hard. So VERO goes on this monster spike, gives all of them back. Right, PHIO going on a spike, but then can give some on back. You got to be careful. 200-day moving average is your target. SGN trying to spike its way back on up. Remember, guys, I've already traded today on my small account. I'm already done with my trading over on the small account. We are going to be trading the prop firm, getting ourselves ready to rock and roll. But we are up right now at we are up right now $9,400, $406. That's where we're at. $9,406 on the small account, which is absolutely awesome. So again, that's what we want to be looking at. Also, a little side note here, traders. For every single person, I want to make sure that you guys are all set here, ready to rock and roll. Monday morning, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we are doing something that I'm so pumped about. Spring Black Friday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, every single membership is 50% off. Yes, guys, 50% off. Lifetime membership is going to be $1,700 off. Annual membership is going to be over $800 off. Semi-annual is going to be over $450 off. Monthly membership is going to be $80 off. Everything is going to be cheap. So if you guys are saying, hey, Dek, I can't afford, again, TradeCaster. I just would love to be a TradeCaster member. I just can't afford it. Everything will be 50% off. Obviously, the bigger the membership, the better the deal you get. This is a one-time fee. So if you want to sign up for a month, you can for $80 whatever dollars, but it's only for 1 month. Then it goes back on up. So the bigger the time frame, the bigger the membership, the better the deal. If you sign up for an annual membership next month, you'll have an entire year for 50% off. Or if you want to sign up for a lifetime membership for 50% off, you will never have to pay again on TradeCaster.com. So next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we are having a 50% Black Friday spring sale. This is our last Black Friday sale until November. November, we'll have another 50% off, but probably not for the next, 10 months. So 9 months away will be our next kind of Black Friday sale. If you guys miss out on this one, you guys will be sitting around for the next 9 months missing out on these entries and the recession and the dropping and the money. So again, you guys do not want to miss it. If you guys want to upgrade your membership or if you guys want to become a member, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 50% off everything. Make sure you guys take advantage of it. So fired up for you guys. Like the stock market, best time to get the deal for TradeCaster. Hey, guys, I see the market falling. I see the market dropping, and I see this is the biggest opportunity we have had in years. I want every single person to come on over to TradeCaster. Even if that means, hey, let's give everyone 50% off. That's what it comes on down to. I want every single person to come over to TradeCaster. I want every person to stay a TradeCaster member. So let's just give you a 50% off sale. Let's make sure you're saving your money. You can put it into the recession as we get this drop, and let's make as much money as we can in the future. Right? So get ready for that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Going to be game changing. Get fired on up. So let's get ready to rock and roll here. All right. S&P 500 still again trying to hold up that 500 region. Also, I know people always ask about this every single day. So again, this right here, team, where I'm getting all of this information on, this is Fox Runner. So just a little heads on up. Again, I get that question every single day. People are always asking, Dek, what's that software? What's that scanner? What is this? This is Fox Runner, where I literally get all, again, my morning information. So again, you guys do get a free 30-day pass. If you guys have not signed up to Fox Runner, I think every single person now on TradeCaster use Fox Runner. I'm pretty sure every single one of us use Fox Runner. So if you guys have not used it, it again just literally gives you the answers for every single morning. So if you guys want to check it on out, go check it on out. But this is what I've been using for the past year, and this is how I'm always on top of every single play every single day. So make sure that you guys are all set, ready to get after it and keep on going. Now, let's see here, team. Let's see, of course, what's going to be coming on up here. Yep, it is free the first 30 days. The S&P 500 still trying to spike, still trying to move, still trying to get that next leg. DXF right now looking for that, little bit of a pop towards the upside. VERO, SGN. Let's see if we get anything big. S&P 500. Now, this is the crazy thing about the S&P 500. The S&P 500 here, team. This is what's kind of so nuts. Take a look at the last few days. Let's go back into a 15-minute time frame. The S&P 500 over the last few days, we went from 521 down towards the price of 480. So we go from 520 to 480, $40 drop. Then we go from 480 to 520, $40 climb. Then we go from 520 back down to 490, $30 drop. Then we go from 490 back up to 525, about a $35 climb. Then we go from 525 back on down to 485, $40 drop. Traders, this is not normal. Traders, that's not normal at all. For anyone who does not know, the S&P 500 on a normal day, I kind of want to just scroll back a few months here. On a normal day, the S&P 500 goes from 570 to 573. That's fun. Hey, on a normal day, the S&P 500 goes from 575 and it drops down to 574. That's fun. That's a good time. A dollar up, a dollar down. Nice. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Oh, the S&P 500 over here went from 560. Oh, it's a big day. 560 to 567. Whoa. Hey, hold on tight. Hold on. Oh. Guys, on average, the S&P 500 moves like $4 over the last 3 to 4 days. The S&P 500 on average has moved $35. Team, you guys realize how nuts that is? That is insane to even be thinking about. So it's like this right here. If you can be able to just pick a direction on the S&P 500 and nail the direction, the amount of money you could be making is insane. So make sure you guys are all set. If you guys have not either, everyone smash that thumbs on up right now over on YouTube and subscribe if you guys haven't yet. I appreciate you guys. S&P 500 still trying to get its move on up. It's still slow and steady, building an uptrend. Guys, slow and steady, building the uptrend. Probably, again, best dip buy, best bounce play is going to be off this uptrend. Now, what do we realize, guys, at this time? What are we realizing at this moment? The S&P 500 is almost doing something a little bit similar as yesterday. Traders, who remembers yesterday trading over on the prop firm? Yesterday, when we took a look over on the S&P 500, it had a massive sell-off. But the S&P 500 had a beautiful uptrend to begin with. Right? Take a look right here. The S&P 500 had an absolutely beautiful uptrend to begin with. The S&P 500 right here just, again, moved itself on up slowly and slowly and slowly, and then it finally cracked. And look what happened when the stock went from the bullish side, the top side, to the bearish side. Look what happened when the stock sold on off. It went from this top area to just, again, absolutely falling apart. This top area to absolutely dropping. Let's go back into like a 2-minute time frame here so you can see it maybe even a little bit better. The stock market yesterday fell from 524 back down to 489. And it's because it had this beautiful uptrend right here. Right? Let me grab this here. Beautiful uptrend. Uptrend cracked, and it just sold on off. Now, if you guys were not here yesterday, I kept looking for this crack. If you guys were not here yesterday, I was looking for the sell-off. I was looking for the dump. I was looking for the drop. Finally, I got the drop. And I was able to get myself in the green. I also did a little bit of trades, in the afternoon on the downside as well, as everything was fading and falling and turning and dropping. But it just comes on down to when you build a floor, you go underneath the floor, again, imagine you're on a skyscraper. You're on the floor right now. You're bouncing on the floor. Imagine if you crack through the floor. You fall to the next level. If you keep on bouncing and you crack through that floor, you fall through the next level. Support is just the floor on a skyscraper. And once you fall through it, hey, things can start getting very ugly very quickly. So I don't know if you guys saw this video or not last night. I made it kind of like a little funny video last night talking about, my prop firm trading. Did anyone watch this? I hope you guys do. And also, again, I was just having some fun with it with a little bit of a voiceover. Let me know if you guys like it or not. But if you guys have not watched it, it's a 1-minute video. This is exactly the trade that I took yesterday over on the prop firm. Go ahead, check this on out. I'm going to turn it up on the live stream so you guys can hear it. And let me know what you guys think. Trying to work towards becoming a prop trade millionaire. You guys will see in a second. So check it on out. We'll be all set here. Welcome back to a new episode of Becoming a Prop Trader Millionaire. We have the S&P 500 at this time holding this absolutely beautiful uptrend, and we know it has strong support. Now here's the key. If we crack support, this should lead towards a massive sell-off. So let's jump in on our first entry, trading smart, knowing that we are about to profit. What the fuck? What are you talking? Come on now. Okay, that trade didn't work out the way I thought it would. So, you know what? It bounced right back above, and now as it cracks on its second time, this should be an easy, clear-cut crack because we have strong support. We have bounced off the support line multiple times. Once going underneath support, stop losses should be hit. Let's jump back in on a nice, clean, non-emotional trade. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is absolute... Okay. I'm not giving up on this. If you're not giving up on me, I'm not giving up on this. I know this trade. The S&P 500 is starting to look weak. This platform is starting to crack. I'm giving it one more go. And the greatest thing about this is I'm keeping my emotions in check. Let's get ready to make some freaking money in here. Sean, are you live? Sean Dekmar, let's take it down to the field and bring it down to a live step-by-step play with the man of the hour. Go ahead and take it, Sean. Hey guys, here comes that weakness. There we go. Now some, oh baby. Now again, we're seeing the weakness back on down. Now again, we're seeing a little bit more of a drop of $1,900, guys. I'm going to take that right there. $1,900 and just get myself back to where I need to be. Get myself feeling aroused and a little sexual. Woo-wee! Traders, that's all it comes on down to sometimes. That's what it comes on down to sometimes. So let me know if you guys like the voiceovers. Do you guys like the voiceovers more than just the live trading videos? And again, I like to hear your feedback. If you guys just like the raw trading videos where you see everything, or if you guys kind of like a little bit more of that voiceover. And hey, it's people ask, Dek, how many cups of coffee do you drink every single day? My fun fact in life is I have never even sipped coffee in my life. That's my fun fact. Raise my hand. 2 truths and a lie. Never again drink coffee. Always get some. How old am I? 31. Never even sipped it. Never even touched these lips before. Isn't that nuts to be thinking about? I think I have reversed engineered it. Where since I've never had coffee, guess what? I basically have the stimulants of about 20 cups of coffee a day. That's how it works. Now, again, my little rebuttal towards that is I have had like energy drinks before. Like those C4s. Oh, those C4s are so damn delicious. Anyone drink those? I'm telling you right now, those Jolly Rancher C4s are the best ones I have ever, again, laid my eyes upon. They taste so good. It feels like my skin's about to fall off. Oh, I love it. Now, S&P 500. Let's see. Still building the slight higher low. Dip buy opportunity would be off out of the VWAP. So right now, traders. Emilio saying, hey, Dek, do you mainly look for trades during pre-market when you're scanning for plays? 100%. So a little heads on up for anyone who does not know, especially if you're brand new, I'm happy to tell you. I am usually done with my trading day before 9:30. Guys, what time did I trade this morning? 6:50 a.m. Do you guys want to know why I like to trade so early in the morning? It's when there's the biggest spikes. What happens in pre-market? There's two things that happen in pre-market. Number one, news comes on out. When news comes on out in the stock market, we again see that that's when there's the biggest rips, the biggest runs, the biggest change, right? So again, we see huge rips, huge runs, like 80% climbs. And I know it, like right now we're not seeing a lot of news, but like PHIO, XXII, let's just take a look at them real quick. PHIO goes from $1 all the way up to $2.75. XXII goes all the way from $1 to spikes all the way up to $5.70. We could take a look at, VERO. VERO goes from the price of $6 and spikes all the way up towards $13. Now, it did have a nice little spike at the start of the day, right? You could see even yesterday, NAOV. NAOV yesterday goes all the way from the price of $3 all the way up towards the price of $10. Now, again, it did go on a spike at the start of the day, and that's great, but that is not always the case. What happens in pre-market is stocks cannot be halted. Stocks can't be slowed down. When momentum takes on over, the stocks go crazy. So my whole entire trading strategy, if anyone just says, Dek, what is your trading strategy? I'll tell you right now. My trading strategy is every single morning I wake up, I watch the news scanner, right? I wake up, I watch the news scanner. I know what time hot news comes out. Hot news comes out at 7 a.m., 7:30, 8 o'clock, and 8:30 East Coast time. Now, again, I know all of our hot keywords. We have our 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and 4-star keywords. A lot of the 3-star words will always lead to a spike. The 4-star words are like 99% of the time lead to a spike. So I just wrote those out. I again wrote out all the keywords, the 3-star and 4-star words, and those are always highlighted to me. So basically, again, what we can do here is we can change it. Whenever we see the word agreement, it's highlighted to me. Whenever we see the word successful, it's highlighted to me. Whenever we see the word treatment, notice how these are all green because they're highlighted keywords. So all I do every morning is I watch the news scanner at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Hot news comes on out. The moment hot news comes on out, I look to enter the play because I know there's now a reason for that stock to move on up. I also only look for low float stocks. So I might just do 0 to 17 million in float. If I only do low float stocks, these are plays that are low floats, easily can spike on hot news. And if I'm getting in first, I'm getting in near the bottom. So for instance, let's just say hypothetically, NAOV came out with the press release at whatever time this was, at 7:30 in the morning, okay? Let's say it's 7:30 in the morning. And all of a sudden, we see NAOV come across the news scanner. And it says NAOV just came on out with positive results. Positive results. And I realize NAOV is under 1 million in float. It only has 1 million in float. It's a low float stock. And at 7:30 in the morning is now it's starting to spike back on up. Traders, if I again just buy in right away, let's say again NAOV is right here, and I see it moving on up, and I buy in right away, I jump in right here. What is my risk? My risk is that the stock goes back down to where it started, right here. That's my risk. My risk is that the stock's gonna fall, because I'll tell you right now, a stock is never going to dump, or I would say 99% of the time, is not going to dump when it comes out with positive news. If a stock comes out and says, we reached endpoints, we have cured cancer, we have done whatever, we have a partnership with NVIDIA, we have a partnership with Facebook, and we're a small company, all of a sudden, guess what happens? The stock isn't going to dump and turn. My risk is literally from here to where we started. That's it. But my opportunity for it to go on up is all the way up here. So really, what I like to do, what I trade, is I am again trying to always be the first one to find the hottest press releases and jump in on the plays. because I know I'm limiting my risk. If I again see a hot press release come on out and the stock goes from $3 and spikes up to $3.60, and I say, hey, guess what? Stock has great news. It's not going to fall back on down to $2.90. It's not going to fall back down towards, again, $2. Really, the only opportunity is for it to go up. Now, if I get in too late, sure, then it could possibly fall on me. But if I'm getting in early and just watching the news scanner every single day, I'm going to be able to make as much money as humanly possible. So that's awesome, right? Let's take a look, like PHIO. Let's just type this on out here, right? PHIO. Let's just see what this had. PHIO. We can see this press release came on out, or this was a filing, came out at 8:20 in the morning. 8:20 in the morning, PHIO. Now, if you are watching the news scanner at, again, the time of 8:20, guess what happens? 8:20, the stock's at $1. And it actually took about 5 minutes for other people to realize that this came on out. And it goes from 120, spikes up towards, again, 275. Just like that, you can make $2,000, right? On a $2,000 account, right? How easy is that? How crazy is that? Let's take a look over on like some other ones just out of today, right? This is not like me kind of looking around and looking for the best ones. This is just me out of today. Let me shut my door real quick. Let's take a look over on like, XXII. Now, this looks like this had a filing as well, but let's just see here. XXII. What is going on with this play? XXII came out with a press release at 8:25 a.m. 8:25 a.m. 3-star press release right here. Talks about an agreement. It says XXII is going to be working with a new filtered cigar with an agreement right here. Okay, cool. So XXII comes out with this press release. It's a 3-star press release. It has the word agreement right there. We again jump in over on XXII. It has a hot keyword. And guess what happens? 8:25, press release comes on out. The stock's at $1. Very soon after, about 30 minutes later, the stock goes from $1 and spikes up to $6. So the thing is, if you again are just watching the news scanner and you again are looking at stocks that have good hot keywords, right? All the hot keywords right here. This is again the best list at this moment. These are all the words that we're looking for. And these words are literally highlighted for us. If we jump in on them, the only opportunity is essentially to go up. So as long as we're not scared, as long as we're experienced, as long as we set a stop loss, as long as we're all set ready to go, we're not going to end up taking any large losses. Traders are always asking me, Dek, how did you turn $5,000 already to, again, $9,400? How did we turn $4,000 to $80,000? Last year, we did our small account challenge in the fall. We turned $5,000 to $14,000. All I do is this strategy. All I do every morning is wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I watch the news scanner. When the news scanner comes across with something good, I jump in on it. I'm usually one of the first people in on it. And then the stock only can go up because it has good news. So again, the worst thing you can do is wait until 9:30 in the morning and say, oh yeah, I'm going to buy XXI right now. Goes all the way back on down. Hey, Dek, I can't wait to buy again. Oh, I saw you bought Vero this morning at 6:50 in the morning. Can't wait to buy it. Comes all the way back on down. The worst thing you can do is wait until 9:30 and then start trading. That's a awful strategy. That's the worst way to trade, because that's where, again, you're probably going to end up taking the biggest losses, right? So I want to make sure you guys are all set here, making sure that you guys have a full understanding about those trades. Does that make sense? So right now, Vero watching SGN, keeping our eyes peeled over on these plays. S&P 500 getting a little bit of a drop here. Now, let's see if the SPY team trying to hold up on this VWAP area here. And we're going to see what we can do. We're going to see what we can get here over on the S&P 500, seeing how we're going to be able to trade here. I'm going to bring up my prop firm, One Stop Prop, as you guys know. And we will be all set, ready to rock and roll, ready to get after it here. So all it takes, guys, I mean, you guys can even, see this. On this type of market, if you can just correctly get the direction of the market, you'll pass your prop firm in one day. There's no way you can't. If you can just get the correction on your prop firm, there's no way that you wouldn't be able to make this money. Take a look. The S&P 500, massive sell-off. You could pass your prop firm in one day. The S&P 500, monster climb. You could pass your prop firm in one day. S&P 500, massive sell-off. You could pass your prop firm in one day. S&P 500, what we have right here, trying to get this climb. You could pass the prop firm in one day, right? That's kind of all it's coming on down to. Is that like, if you again jump in, we're having $35 climbs. $35 climbs. You could pass everything in just one day. Everything in one day. Vero. Vero, keeping our eyes peeled over on the stock. Still watching, wait, and seeing what we can have here. We do have Vero starting to fall. And guys, take a look at the S&P 500 starting to fall. S&P 500 getting a little bit weaker right now. Came back on down towards around that VWAP area. Quick little drop right there over on the S&P 500. Back on down towards the VWAP. And as I've stated here multiple times, all you have to do, traders, just don't overthink, right? This is the stock market declines. 36, 48, 17, 27, 20, 49, 57, 34. You guys already know what's the average. The average, again, recession over the last, again, 50 years has been 36%. 36% is the average decline. Some are less, 17, 20, 27. Right now, traders, as you guys know, we are already at a 21% drop. We fell 21% when we dropped on down to 481. Could that have been the bottom? It's honestly possible. I don't think anyone thinks that. I don't think many people think that in any sort of way. But that literally could be the bottom. A 21% drop here. 21% drop, and then we again spike our way back on up. So HGPA, still watching that one. Let's get ready to go here. Let's get ready for some trades. Let's get ready to have some fun. Man, I've been on like overdrive, I feel like, for like the last 2.5 hours. Just it's just, I feel like I've just been like not only talking into the mic, but screaming into the mic. Basically trying to get my point across as much as I can. Get my point across as much as I can because I care about you guys so much. I want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to win. I want you guys to get after it. I want you guys to be on top of it. Semo Trader, I only need, again, $427 to pass my prop firm account today. Whoo-wee. Love that. That's amazing. Guys, little quick note, S&P 500, what are we maybe setting ourselves up to? Maybe a little head and shoulders pattern. We can see, again, shoulder here, head here. We get that bounce right back on up towards, again, that 501 mark. Should be, again, that head and shoulders pattern. So we might get that head and shoulders pattern coming on up. So if you guys do not know, this is what it looks like. Head and shoulders. Head and shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. So what we have, traders, is take a look. Just go over to Google. Type in head and shoulders pattern. You have one shoulder. You have a head. You have the right shoulder. And then again, you fade on off. Here it is again. Shoulder, head, shoulder, sell on off. Very simple, basic, elementary. Shoulder, head, shoulder, sell off. Okay? So you can see it on a lot of charts. It's a very popular pattern that we're starting to form right here. If I'm taking a look over on the S&P 500 at this moment, I am going to draw it out in this manner. I'm going to say that the S&P 500, as of now at least, has shoulder, head, we're going to come back on down, shoulder, and then we get that sell-off. But that it could lead towards a nice little dip buy opportunity as well if we do start bouncing back on up. VWAP could be a nice little starting dip buy, right? We know that. We know, again, the VWAP could be a nice little starting dip buy. We know, again, the VWAP could be a nice area for us to be able to get those dips and bottoms. Now, Dek, where would, again, nice dips and bottoms be? Probably right underneath 596. You get a little underneath 596. You go back on down towards 595.60, 595.70. You can definitely get a little bit of a dip buy, start forming that shoulder back above 500. There's again a little bit of a bounce play. Trying to form again the next shoulder here, guys. So this is where we're trying to form that next shoulder. And if the shoulder gets back on up towards like 502-ish, that's kind of the goal. But you guys can see again the shoulder that we have. So again, there's a nice little bounce. Head and shoulders pattern is working. Head and shoulders pattern is working the way we think. Is working the way that we like. Is working the way, again, the way that we have predicted so far. Let's see if that is going to keep on bouncing. Tomorrow, guys, is going to be an awesome day in the market. I'm excited to see. I mean, I wake up every single day, like, extremely excited to see what the market's going to bring us. Tomorrow, day one of the Masters as well, baby. Get locked in. Get locked in. I got my money on Morikawa. I think Colin's going to have a big showing this year. NCAA basketball, I suck at. Golf, I'm pretty good at. I'm going top 10 Morikawa. I think, again, top 10 Morikawa. Guy's been pretty dialed in with the irons. Been showing up. Putter's been rolling well. Gotta, again, stay consistent. I also think Adam Scott, like a top 40 there. I think Scott's going to show up as well. Had a great last year. Working on his game. All he wants is the Masters. Deck, who do you think is going to win this weekend for the UFC main event? Paddy the Baddy or, again, Chandler? The thing is, Chandler is my favorite fighter. Not because he's good. Because he just stands there and he gets rocked. That's all he does. He's just pure entertainment. There has never been like a Chandler fight that I'm like not happy I watched. He just stands there and just gets whacked in the face for, again, 30 minutes straight. And then every now and then he'll connect. Every now and then he'll win. He doesn't win often, but when he does, it's exciting. So I'm going to honestly probably say Paddy the Baddy is going to win over Chandler. But it will be exciting no matter what. Right now, team, we're still watching for that possible upcoming sell-off. Deck, we didn't get back up towards that 501 mark. Right now, again, we're just giving it a little bit of time. Giving this a little bit of time to see if it's going to spike its way back up towards around that 502 area. So S&P 500... S&P 500 right here, traders. Obviously, again, still getting this a little weakness. Kind of moving sideways right now. Not getting too much. We're taking a look here, team. Let's just kind of go back over towards this. What do we have? It says, Trump says, be cool. This is a great time to buy. Guys, again, no matter what you think about Trump, no matter what you think about Trump in any way, you could hate the guy, you could love the guy, okay? Hate him or love him. He does say some pretty funny things, okay? He does. And he's just like, it's funny to say, it's funny. It makes me giggle that the president of the United States is like, guys, just be cool. It's a great time to buy. It's like, hey, just be cool. Stop yelling at me. It's a great time to buy. Just relax. Guys, I'm giving you a buying opportunity. Just chill. Just relax, guys. Be cool. So right now, we are seeing the markets getting lower. European Union approves first set of retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports. China slaps 84% tariffs. Canada slaps 25% tariffs. Tariffs are in effect. Here's how they differ from the U.S. So we have, again, tariffs still in effect at this time. We are seeing, of course, the markets still dropping at this time, though. Markets are a little bit like calm, though, at least. The Dow is down 9 points. The NASDAQ is slightly up 185 points. S&P 500 is currently sitting at 15 points. Russell 2000 currently at 0.77 points. Everything is basically even, right? Little mix, but pretty even at this moment. Guys, SPY still getting a little bit weaker. SPY still getting a little bit weaker. Yesterday, again, I kept going in too early on my put contracts. You guys remember that? Kept going in a little too early on my put contracts. Right now, basically what we have here is the VWAP just holding up as support. VWAP holding up as support, a little bit of sideways movement. We're going to continue to stay smart on this. Watch to see what we can do. Watch to see what we can get up towards next. It's all about a waiting game right now. Staying patient. Now, if anyone does have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to, go over anything that you guys need or anything that you guys want to know at. Also have some pretty exciting news as well. Is anyone here use StockTwits at all? If anyone here uses StockTwits, I've actually just been signed by StockTwits, and I am actually going to be doing a couple morning shows for StockTwits on the StockTwit platform. So StockTwits has about 3 million users, and I'm going to be going live in front of again about 3 million different users over on StockTwits, and that's going to be starting up next week. So traders, that's going to be a really awesome opportunity. I'm really excited about that. And every now and then I'm going to be going live and doing a little show over on the StockTwits community in front of about 3 million different users. So I hope again you guys have loved what I've been able to bring you guys and the information, and that's absolutely awesome. But again, now being able to do a lot of just random little shows here and there. Make sure you guys check that out when I do them. So S&P 500, but shout out to StockTwits for that amazing opportunity. Deck, why is CAT getting decimated? CAT, Caterpillar? I'm not sure. I am not sure why. I have not done any sort of research on Caterpillar in any sort of way, or CAT, but I will be saying this. CAT, it looks like a great dip buy coming on up. Guess what? What's the best thing to do? What's the one thing that everyone says? When in doubt, zoom out. Right? You're on a daily chart right now, and you're saying, man, Caterpillar, CAT sucks. When in doubt, zoom out. And guess what? Caterpillar doesn't suck. That seems like it's a pretty amazing dip buy. Take a look over on the S&P 500. S&P 500. And you go over on a daily chart right now and you're saying, man, the S&P 500 sucks. When in doubt, zoom out. And you're like, wait a minute, the S&P 500 was all the way up at record highs. This is actually an amazing opportunity. This is an amazing dip buy. What am I talking about? Right? You go over right now. Let's do it one more time. Go over to NVIDIA. Man, NVIDIA sucks. NVIDIA's gone from 150 to down again, $87. When in doubt, zoom out. Oh, NVIDIA just went on a crazy climb the last 3 years. So that's kind of like an easy, very basic elementary way to think about it. When in doubt, zoom out. That's what people say all the time now. Now, the thing is, a lot of people say that, about the cryptocurrencies, where it's like, when in doubt, zoom out, and nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed in any way. Like, for instance, you guys can take a look over on Ethereum. Ethereum, guys, come on over here, and you say, when in doubt, zoom out on Ethereum. Guys, when in doubt, zoom out on Ethereum. It is at the same price of the old highs back in January 2018. So, when in doubt, zoom out. Man, if I bought in 2018, I kept holding Ethereum, we're at almost the same areas. That's a little scary, right? Now, I will say this, traders, for any of my cryptocurrency people here, how many people here love and follow cryptocurrency? I'm going to give you guys information on cryptocurrency. I am no crypto expert, but I'm going to tell you what the buzz is in the cryptocurrency world. Okay? I'm going to tell you what the buzz is right now. Okay? Obviously, at this time, everything's been fading, falling, dropping. Everything's getting very weak. We have been constantly seeing the market, drop and fade, and we're seeing, again, new lows, and we're seeing everything just fall apart. Okay? Crypto has been falling very hard. Now, with that being stated, Ethereum is basically like, let's imagine Ethereum as AMD at this moment. You guys know AMD, Advanced Money Destroyer. It just seems like no matter what, AMD just won't go up. No matter what you do, AMD just keeps dropping lower and lower and lower. That's basically like Ethereum at this moment. Even when Bitcoin ran up towards new record highs, Ethereum just never followed it. So that's what Ethereum is at this time. Bitcoin is still the most popular, and XRP is also, again, rapidly becoming a lot more popular. Now, we know Solana has gone crazy over the last year and a half. Now, why has Solana gone crazy over the last year and a half? Simply enough, it's gone on such a wild move because meme coins. Remember again, Haktua coin? Remember all those again, different random coins, guys, where people were just buying and rug pulling 24/7. It was just a rug pulling frenzy. You guys remember that? If you wanted to create a meme coin, you had to create it on Solana. So that's why Solana went crazy. So basically, if you think about it, like the top 10 coins right here, okay? The top 10 coins. These coins, guys, are basically coins that are blockchains that you would build off smaller altcoins off of, or you would build technology off of. So you might have Bitcoin and you build something on top of Bitcoin. You would have meme coins and you build it on top of Solana. So if coins are the hot trend, guess what? Solana is going to go crazy. Just like Trump or Fartcoin or any of that stuff. It's all built off of Solana. So the buzz is, though, at this moment, that again, the next big thing is going to be RWA, real world assets. Now, RWA coins are getting very hot. I actually talked about this about a year and a half ago, but now again, everyone's talking about RWA coins. RWA coins, though, are built on Ethereum. So the thing is, basically, if you want to think about it, what's going to be the next kind of big bull rally is it's going to be when Ethereum finally finds a bottom, when Ethereum finally pops, when Ethereum finally moves its way back on up. And once Ethereum moves its way back on up, that's going to unleash all the RWA coins. So do you guys remember back in, let's say, we started off with like gamer coins. We started off with like, game coins, AI coins. Then we went over to NFTs. Then we went over towards, again, meme coins. And now, again, it's going to be switching over to RWA coins. But RWA coins can't spike until Ethereum spikes. That's basically what it comes on down to at this moment. Okay? So you might just be like, let's imagine you're the age of 50, 60, 70 years old and you're just saying, Dek, I have no idea what you just talked about. Everything you said to me just sounded the most absolutely ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, that could be true. Okay? So if you're saying, Dek, I have no idea what you just said, I have no idea what any of that even means, just forget about it. But if you're a crypto guy, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Gen G, Dek, is the basketball thing over? Can you share the link so I can see the results? Yep, the basketball March Madness, the basketball thing. Do you mean, again, when you say thing, do you mean the biggest March Madness bracket tournament that you could possibly have? Do you mean, again, the most exciting time of, again, college basketball series of every single year? Is that what you're referring to when you say basketball thing, Jen? Yes, it is over. So it did end, and we have reached out to our winner. We have reached out to our winner to make sure that they are all set, ready to go. But I got to scroll back a little bit to try to find the bracket for you. Give me a few moments here. I'm just going to have to scroll down here a second. But yes, that is all over at this time. Last game was on Monday. So here it is. Here it is. March Madness bracket. I finished in 130th. Judgment Day has won. So if you are Judgment Day, we have reached out to you. Make sure, again, you reach out to us if you are Judgment Day. And again, we are giving you a free 6-month membership to TradeCaster. So there is the March Madness bracket if you guys missed it. Little heads up for every single trader right now, guys. Heads on up for every single trader. What do we have? S&P 500, shoulder. S&P 500, head. S&P 500, shoulder. Everyone see this? This is what we're looking for. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Let's go back over towards, again, our old pattern where we do have head and shoulders pattern, and we can bring this on up, bring it over towards Google here. And what are we looking for? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. We're looking for that next sell-off and that next drop. So what we have is shoulder, head, shoulder, and we're going to see if this stock can be able to get some potential over at this time. So S&P 500, absolutely beautiful. Keeping our eyes peeled, seeing if this play is going to be able to make us some nice money, and see if this one can fade. Enrique, thank you so much. Enrique just dropped off an absolutely delicious breakfast smoothie. Oh, I know you guys can't see this because it's green, because I have a green screen behind me. But this is a breakfast smoothie. It's green, but it's actually, you can't see it because I turn off anything that's green. But this is... Thank you, Enrique. Thank you. Gracias. Man, let me ask you guys, how much do you guys pay your personal chef every single month? How much do you guys do? I want to know if I have a good discount. So everyone right now in the chat room, type out how much do you guys pay your personal chef every single month. Please let me know, just so again we can all compare and make sure again we're not getting like, you know, a little screwed over. Guys, look at this head and shoulders pattern. Look at this head and shoulders pattern right now. Look at that head and shoulders pattern. Watch for a little bit of a bounce back up to 500, and then let's look for some entries. S&P 500 here. Whoa. We're getting some wild answers. Okay, some wild answers on that one, hey. Deck, my wife is my chef. I pay my chef $3,500. I pay my chef 0.2 Bitcoin. Deck, I allow my chef to suck my... All right. Remind me not... Guys, I can't look at YouTube comments anymore. I'll tell you that much right now. The YouTube comments are getting a little out of hand. YouTube comments are getting a little wild over there. All right. S&P 500 starting to get a little bit of a drop here. So let's see, S&P 500, beautiful head and shoulders pattern. I have not entered just yet, but I do, and I am looking for that entry. Man, part of me wants to enter right now. I don't want to get filled if this thing is about to drop and start getting a little bit weaker and lower. I do think we can go all the way back on down towards the VWAP. I do think we can even crack underneath the VWAP. Guys, look at the S&P 500 starting to get that fade. Head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, sell off. Traders, there is going to be a bounce play probably somewhere coming up soon. Anyone enter on the head and shoulders pattern yet for their prop firm? Anyone enter again on the head and shoulders pattern looking for this sell-off and looking for this drop? If we can get a little bounce back on up towards like 499, I want to start pulling the trigger. I'm not in on it yet, just a little heads on up. You guys can see I'm still 0 out of 0. But I do want to be able to get that fill right here. So traders, right now we are seeing this head and shoulders pattern. We still have some weakness. Getting ready for that reversal. Room to fall back on down to that VWAP. Strong resistance though, back on up. Can everyone at least see and understand why we have fallen so far? Can everyone see and understand the head and shoulders pattern that we have? We do have shoulder, 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 looking for the sell-off and more. I think it is time we have to start maybe looking for some possibilities of entries here soon. I'm hoping we get a little bit of a bounce play back on up. I really do. I hope we get a little bounce play back on up and then a reversal. Just get like a little upper shadow back up towards like 499 so we have a little bit of a better entry. But we know again, what is the head and shoulders pattern supposed to do? The head and shoulders pattern is supposed to lead towards a nice sell-off. And we have the perfect head and shoulders pattern right now. Showed you guys a bajillion times already, but I'm going to show you again. So here's the shoulder. We might get this little, like where I think we're at is like right here. I think we're going to get a little pop. Little pop. And then the sell-off down towards new lows. That's what I would like. You guys can see right here, like we sometimes get these little pops back on up. Little pops, and then again the sell-off back on down. So I wouldn't mind if we get a little pop, a little bit of a move back on up, and then we get the sell-off back on down. It's kind of what I'm looking at. That's a good smoothie. I'm just bringing that thing on down. Right now, still trying to get a little bit of action. Let's see if we get that sell-off here soon. Sell-off is still in play. Traders, looks like we're getting weaker. Starting to get that drop, starting to get that fade here. 499 is right around the top. I'm going to enter my first little bit. I'm entering a little bit in case we do start falling. I'll add on pops. I'm gonna add on pops. I'll add on pops, but I'm entering my first little bit right here. Because I do like the head and shoulders pattern. I do like the head and shoulders pattern. I'm only doing a small entry right now, not a big entry, just in case it does fall. If it falls, great. If it falls, great. If it falls and fades, that's amazing. But the thing is, I don't want to miss it if it does crash back down towards the VWAP. We have not touched that VWAP yet. So I just want to, again, at least get some sort of entry in on it. If it does spike, we could go back up towards the high 499s where I would enter a lot more. But if we start fading and falling right now, I'd kick myself for telling everyone how great the head and shoulders pattern is and not be involved in the play. You know what I mean? So let's see if we do fade on down. Let's see if this thing does keep on dropping. And let's see, our VWAP is 496.70. So 496, in the 496 is our goal, okay? 496 is our goal, guys. See if this one can drop on down another $1 or so. Drop on down another $1, and let's see if this thing can get some weakness. So we want to see 496.70 back on down to the VWAP. Back on down near the VWAP is where our next bounce is going to be, so take your profits around there. So far, so good. Let's see if this thing can kind of get a little bit of a dump. See if this thing can keep on dumping on down. 496 is what I want. 496.80, 496.70, somewhere like that. And then again, be able to make, a nice little $500. 496.40s, 50s. Guys, there we go. Come on, 40s. All I'm doing right now, little heads on up, is I'm watching the bids. The bids are the buyers. So the left side of the S&P 500, for anyone who does not know, this is again where the buyers are. So you see 497.50s, these are the buyers that are buying in on the S&P 500. We want to see the buyers get weaker. So that we want to see the 40s. Then we want to see the 30s. Then we want to see the 20s. We want to see weakness running away. We want to see, again, the stock dropping, and we want to be able to see a lot of selling take on over. So right now, traders, we came on down a few times to that 497.50 mark. Seems like we're getting a little bit of bouncing right there. Now, what do you guys also notice? We do have lower shadow here, lower shadow here, lower shadow here, lower shadow here, lower shadow here. We are still at a strong support level. So let's just not forget about that. We do still have strong support off these lower shadows. Lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow. Our goal is the VWAP. We're not looking for a massive sell-off right now. We're looking more for a VWAP area. Deck, what if it starts spiking back on up? Spiking back on up? I'll look to add on this one, as I said. I still love the head and shoulders pattern here. I still love the head and shoulders setup. I still love the head and shoulders pattern. Deck, are you going to just add on any spike? I'm going to probably wait for an upper shadow. Wait for an upper shadow, then again, look for that reversal. So right now, traders, give it a little bit of time. Okay, give it a little bit of time. Right now, it is just a little bit of the waiting game at this moment, team. A little bit more of the waiting game right now. Allowing this play to develop, allowing the head and shoulder setup, almost very similar to what we saw yesterday. Allow the play to develop. Now, Deck, what if we start like squeezing and spiking and start ripping and running? Then again, don't add. Remember, we're only going to add if we see like an upper shadow. We're only going to add if the head and shoulders pattern actually works on out. We're only going to add if, again, we see that $500 reversal. We're not going to add if we just keep going higher and higher and higher. Okay? So I am waiting for some sort of reversal to actually happen for us to be able to add. So I'm only doing, all I have is one entry right now. I have one very tiny entry at this moment. Not doing anything more, okay? So I have one entry. That's why, again, it's not like I'm losing a lot by any sort of means. I'm keeping everything very kind of tight and small right now. S&P 500. There is still a little bit of that upper shadow. S&P 500, a little bit of that upper shadow. Can we start fading back on down? 488, guys. Had a little bit of that pop, that upper shadow. Still watching for that weakness. Can we start fading? Again, I think right now everyone's kind of in that like same little zone. Right now we did have an upper shadow form. We also do have these higher lows we're looking to crack and sell on off. Here we go. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see if we can crack on down towards the guys. Here we go. Back on down 597.40. It looks like we are getting that weakness. It looks like it's right there. Looks like we have that opportunity to get that sell-off. Dek, where's a great target? Great target's going to be back on down towards like 590, 590. So if we can actually get that sell-off, if that can happen here, what I'm not going to do though is get like yesterday, get tricked. Now what do I mean by get tricked? Jumping on this play, lower shadow, pop back on up. Jumping on that play, lower shadow, pop back on up. Jumping on that play, lower shadow, pop back on up. Right now, just allow money to be made right now, team. You don't got to add here if you're not comfortable. Just allow the money to be made. Allow this to be able to fade back on down to the VWAP. So if we form another upper shadow, we could go right back on up. All right, but we want this thing fading. We want this thing falling. We want this thing. There we go, guys. Hey, let's keep on going here. There's the VWAP. If you want to lock in some gains right now, you definitely can. If you want to lock in some gains, you definitely can. I'm going to allow this to rock out for a little bit more. I'm going to allow this to rock out a little bit longer and keep going down a little bit more. Right now, we're up 340. VWAP trying to hold up here slightly. Let's see if we can crack the VWAP, guys. Crack the VWAP, drop back down to like, 495-ish. So I'm going to allow this to kind of rock out a little bit more. Regardless, how cool is that with the head and shoulders pattern? Guys, awesome with the head and shoulders pattern right there. Awesome job if you guys noticed the head and shoulders pattern. Awesome job if you guys are seeing the head and shoulders pattern. Awesome job if you guys went after the head and shoulders. Right? And you're like, hey, Dek, head and shoulders. Absolutely love it. So, I mean, no matter how you just traded that stock, if you guys got in and locked in some profits right there, that's amazing. Or if you guys are saying to yourself, hey, Dek, I didn't trade that stock, but I saw the head and shoulders pattern, and that was really cool. Or again, the S&P 500 starting to get weaker and starting to drop back on down right now. We're up $310 at this moment. Guys, at this time, holding the VWAP, I'm going to lock in this gain, just make another $300 bucks. All right, team. So again, I'm locking that in, making another quick little $300 out of that play right now. And again, beautiful just from understanding a chart pattern. That's one of our go-to patterns right there. That's one of our go-to setups right there. I mean, that is a beautiful head and shoulder setup that just led to a sell-off. Head and shoulder setup that has led to, again, a lot of weakness. Head and shoulder setup that has just led to a lot of fading and falling and dropping. And look at it go now. It's still fading. So, I mean, I love when you can recognize a pattern and then you could say to yourself, wow, hey, this pattern is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. This pattern right here. Now, let me ask you, is there anyone that's still in on puts right now or shorts or whatever, betting against the company, betting against the S&P 500 saying, hey, Dek, we're underneath the VWAP now. VWAP is now going to hold up as resistance. We should keep on fading. We should keep on falling. We should keep getting weaker. So look at this. We're still fading and falling. And that's all because of the head and shoulder pattern. It's one of a go-to pattern. Guys, I actually have a big tattoo on my thigh of the head and shoulders pattern. And it's a little head right here, a little shoulder right here. So, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I'm a big stock trader. You know, I used to be in a little stock trading, I don't know, little club. So, head and shoulder pattern, one of our favorite. Got a tattoo of it on my thigh. Guys, look at the S&P 500 start getting weaker right now. S&P 500 still dropping. S&P 500 still weakness. Woo! Traders, watch for a little bounce back up to the VWAP though soon. I'm going to finish off this smoothie while you guys continue to make profits, okay? I'm going to finish off this smoothie while you guys continue to bank on this head and shoulders pattern. There you go. There you go. Guys, S&P 500 head and shoulders pattern, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. So congratulations, everyone making that money. Congratulations, everyone making those gains. And just seeing that head and shoulders pattern continuously fade and fall. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Look at that thing, guys. It might go even weaker. We might, look at this thing. I mean, now... Traders, is there anyone here that whenever they buy, the stock does the opposite? Is anyone willing to jump in on shorts right here so we can get a good dip buy? Anyone in chat? Is there anyone in chat that whenever they buy, the stock market just does the opposite no matter what they're going to lose? Can we use you as a little like, I don't know, like a distraction? Can we use you to be able to get, you know, money to the upside for a little bounce play? Anyone want to be willing? Dek, I'll do it. I'll do it, Dek. I'll do it for the TradeCaster community. I know, again, whenever I buy, the stock market always does opposite of what I do, so I'll do it. Right now, S&P 500 still falling. Man, I love the head and shoulders pattern. That was an absolutely beautiful one. That was an absolutely awesome one. Kinetic, baby. S&P 500 turning back on down. Little side note, I see everyone talking about it, AEHL. AEHL, guys, everyone is talking about this play at this moment over on AEHL. And AEHL has gone pretty parabolic at this moment. Now, traders, what's the big thing about AEHL? AEHL, under 1 million in float, as you know. And also, AEHL is almost on like that mid-candle breakout pattern setup. Isn't that pretty unique? Isn't that pretty unusual right here? That mid-candle breakout setup with under 1 million in float. So it's one of those plays that traders are just excited about. They see, again, these stocks starting to get some hype. They see these stocks are starting to get some momentum, and they see some stocks starting to get this ripping and running. So any news on this play? No news on this play, right? It did have a 1-to-40 reverse stock split, which was last week. So again, we did have this AEHL parabolic move, right, as we know. All right here, traders. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, definitely, again, some good opportunity out there for the squad. Definitely, again, a couple trades along the way. So far, I am 2 for 2 on the day. 1 on my real money account and 1 over on the prop firm account as well. All right, now the SPY here, traders. So watch for a SPY to get a little bit of a bounce. It does seem like a lot of this is going to fade on down. Seems like the SPY is going to be jumping back on down and going to be coming on down towards, you know, possibly some new lows here pretty soon. So traders, S&P 500 is getting weaker. Traders, S&P 500 is getting weaker, and this is all because of the head and shoulders pattern. Traders, this is why you have to study patterns, study chart setups. We actually have an entire video in the video library. If you guys are like, Dek, how do I know like head and shoulders pattern? I don't know these chart pattern setups. Get on over here to the boot camp. In the boot camp, there's going to be right here, breakout chart setups. If you guys have not watched this video of breakout chart setups, it goes over all the most popular chart setups that you need to know, okay? So again, this is for TradeCaster members. Go to the video library and watch again this video right here, breakout chart setups, and it's going to teach you all the different chart setups that you need to know, okay? Head and shoulders pattern, you can add that to like your itinerary now. You can add that to your little treasure chest of plays that you now are aware of. Gen G, Dek, did you see the MACD, or do you use the MACD to help to get decisions? Example over on the S&P 500. I don't usually use the MACD much. I do know people who love the MACD, and that's absolutely fine. Like the thing is, the MACD is, I don't have any. I don't think the MACD like sucks. Like I think the MACD is awesome. I think the MACD is great. I don't use it very often, but if you find that it helps you, I give you 2 thumbs up. Go ahead and check it on out. Go ahead and use it. All right. Team S&P 500 still looks like it's going to be getting pretty weak. We are coming up to 11 o'clock. Guys, I don't know what it is, and maybe it's me right now. Maybe it's me, but I mean, I feel like these mornings are absolutely flying by. I mean, I am on 4 hours of live commentary this morning. 4 hours of commentary this morning. And I felt like it's been 15 minutes. The last 2 to 3 days that we have been, again, doing these live streams, I look down at the clock and I see it's 11 o'clock in the morning already. And I'm like, whoa, lunch hours is about to happen. I don't know where time is going when we're, again, on this live stream, when we're getting after it and we're trading. But we are coming on up pretty soon towards these lunch hours. So make sure you guys are all set and prepared for that. Now also, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are aware, and I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, Black Friday in spring. Our spring Black Friday sale is going off next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 50% off of everything. 50% off of everything. Make sure that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. Make sure you guys are ready to become TradeCaster members. And again, make sure you guys are ready to upgrade your subscription if you guys haven't. But again, we are getting ready to get off. We are getting ready to get after it. And we are getting ready to have fun. 50% off Black Friday sale next week. The next time we have a 50% off sale will be in November. So you will have to wait 9 months if you miss out on this sale. Okay? So don't miss out on any sort of way. Guys, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Does anyone need anything whatsoever at all? I am more than happy to and open to be able to answer any questions that you guys have. Please let me know. Guys, the head and shoulders pattern is still absolutely fantastic. The head and shoulders pattern is still absolutely marvelous at this moment. Still fading and falling and dropping. I'll make a video later on just how good this head and shoulders pattern has been. And how, again, this head and shoulders pattern is leading towards more fading and falling. So, traders, this whole entire day, it was an awesome lesson to really just be able to learn about that one pattern. I was able to grow on the prop firm account, and I was able to grow on the real money account. On top of that, again, VERO, this is a play that, not VERO, excuse me, AEHL is a play that still has a lot of hype. Can you trade small caps in your prop firm account? No, again, so again, I am using Lightspeed as my broker for my small account challenge. This is, again, my real money account. Then I'm using One Stop Prop over in my prop firm account. So again, those are two different things at this time. Zimabi, Dek, what's your next fade target over on the S&P 500? I think, again, S&P 500, where are we going to fade back on down to? I think we're going to fall back down to like that 489 mark. I would say that would be like a bottom target. So your bottom target would be like 489. That's, you know, right next to the low of the day from yesterday. And I think that's going to hold up at some nice support. 8K making $2,600 on some shorts on options so far. Let's go. Shout out to you, AK. Way to, again, keep some money going. Keep the money flowing. Absolutely crushing it. Doing what you do best here. So amazing, incredible work. All right. Hey, traders, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say, once again, thank you so much for everyone who has joined us on this absolutely fantastic morning. Thank you so much for everyone who is part of this absolutely amazing community. Thank you so much to all you guys who are viewers and watchers and all of our TradeCaster members that make this community so great, that show so much support to love towards me. Guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in every single day. We still got tomorrow, we still got Friday, and we still have, of course, weeks and months and years to come. We're bringing the energy every day. We're bringing the excitement every single day, and we're not slowing down ever. We're only picking on up. We are still climbing up the mountain right here. Traders, let's get ready to go. Let's keep ready to make this money. We got the small account up to $9,406. We have less than $600 away until we double up our account and get up to 10,000 bucks. What a day it's been. What an opportunity we have. And I just want to say once again, thank you so much for everyone who's joined us. Smash that thumbs on up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button. And of course, if you need anything at all, please let me know as always. I love you, enjoy it, and get ready for Black Friday in April coming on up in just about 5 days. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to crush it. Team, let's do it. You guys know the drill. In 3, 2, 1. Ah! Woo!
Oh, baby, you got what But you say he's just a friend, and you say he's just a friend. They check second to 10. Out of hoes, calling a young nigga phone. Where's Ollie with the motherfucking dog? I be ballin' like a motherfucking pro. I be ballin' 'cause I got hoes.
She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the FBO with doubles in my hand. I did half a Zan, 13 hours till I land. Have you out like a light, like a light, like a light. Slept through the flight, not for the night. 767 minutes.
Lock eyes, flow across the room. Down my drink while the rhythms boom. Take your hand and skip the names. No need here for the city games. Make our way through the smoking crowd. The cloud is the sky and I'm on your cloud. Moving close as the lasers fly. Our bodies touch and the angels cry. Leave this place, go back to yours. Our lips first touch outside your doors. Oh my God, we've got in store. Whisper in my ear that you want some more. And I'll cheers in my pants. This really never happens, you can take my word. I won't apologize, that's just absurd. Maybe your fault from the way that you dance, and now I cheers in my pants. Don't tell your friends or I'll see you're a slut. Plus it's your fault you were rubbing my butt. I'm very sensitive, someone say that's a plus. Now I'll go home and change.
우위와도 쫓아거리하니 Oh, and you're married Tyler Moore. I don't care what they say about us anyway. I don't care about that.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.